We're gonna record from here and pretend like that happened, right? I don't know what the fuck just happened. It was supposed to record, but it did not. Oh well, fuck it. How are we doing, guys? Welcome. Here we go. Whoa, and we're live. Hey, how's it going? Welcome. Hello. Hi. Welcome in. Hello. Howdy. We're recording. Check, check, check. We got this. Got this all there. Take my dose of cookie before the shit show starts. Yep, I'm recording. We got the recording right. That's good. Mikey 2 Milks cheering 1 bit. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Welcome, guys, gals, and everything in between. We're live for another one of these, and today's our Thursday, actually. A little bit better than hump day. It's Thursday, baby. We got a really fun one for you today. This is gonna get hopefully, I hope it's gonna get as weird as I think it's gonna get, but I don't know for sure. But I mean, we're gonna do everything we can to totally get this out. We got I'm just telling you, man, this is gonna be a real crazy one. We have some guests who I'm not gonna. Where is it? There it is. No, hold on. We'll find it. We got to find the right image here before we do. No spoilers tonight. Yeah, you don't even know what's happening tonight, bitch. Or maybe you do. Don't spoil it. All right. Yeah, Mikey is always about them spoilers, dog.
Apology accepted.
It's just what he wants. What do you guys... Let's see what I told my comprando. Where is he? There you go. Yeah, there we go. All right. You know, we're just going to lead right in with him because he's kind of the shit, and pretty excited. This is going to get good, guys. Actually, you know what? Hold on. We're going to watch a promo first. So tonight, we're going to have a very interesting episode. We've got a buddy of mine who is actually a pro wrestler who is transferred over to being more of a, I guess you would call it like hardcore wrestler. We'll talk to him, but he's got a bunch of stuff that he sent earlier. Some of it's real long, so I don't know that we'll get to all of it, but I do think we should watch this safety video before all that. So before we hop in, we're going to watch this safety video so we know it's safe to talk to Ricky Noren, who will be our guest in a sec. Here we go.
Well, hi. I'm wrestling superstar of the Renaissance, Ricky Noren. And I'm here to talk about something so important here in restaurants today. Workplace safety. My number one concern is safety. Follow these steps to make sure that you're safe in your own workplace.
Things like chairs should be used for their original function. Knives are incredibly dangerous and can lacerate the skin severely. Treat those around you with respect and never resort to harsh insults.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on Oren Veit, your opponent in tonight's death match? The headliner.
I think he's a piece of shit.
Light tubes contain dangerous chemicals and must be treated with care.
All right, and that is our promo that we're going to lead you in on. I got a bunch of other fun shit to grab of Ricky's too that it's going to be pretty fun. But we're going to find. I just got to find the thing that I think is encompassing him the most. You know what? And we're gonna use that one. I guess that's the image we're gonna go with. Here we go. Boom. Ooh, that one's nice. It's not the system, Mikey. Why do you hate the system so much? That's really weird. All right, here we go.
All right, you hear me?
Yeah, what up?
How much you?
Not a whole lot. You are live on Twitch in front of tens of people.
Amazing. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing? Tell people who you are.
I'm the Renaissance Ricky Norn, professional wrestler based out of Minneapolis.
Fuck yeah, dude. How have you been?
I've been doing all right, everything considered.
Yeah. How's wrestling hit with the pandemic? Probably pretty garbage, right?
Oh, yeah, real garbage. Like, I can't even count, like, how many gigs I've had canceled.
I did a tally sheet a week ago, and I figured about 9,000 is what I've missed out from comedy already.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I can relate. Like, I was supposed to go to Ohio, I think next week, and that got canceled. I was really bummed about that.
So I'll let you in on a little thing before we get going, right? So in this, this is a live show. We haven't really named it, but it's on Twitch, right? Also, shout out to Mikey Two Mugs for hosting. That's super awesome. The chat room is going to talk shit throughout this interview, so I will just read you what they're talking shit about, and you can respond to them if you want to. So you will hear me read names. So one of the things we do here is we antagonize the fuck out of Tom Chillstrom.
Ooh.
Like, Tom Chillstrom is a very constant whipping boy of this program, and the listeners right now have taken to calling you Wrastlin' Tom.
Wrastlin' Tom.
Yeah, so everybody's saying hi, Wrastlin' Tom.
I think that's my AWA name.
There you go. Yeah, Wrastlin' Tom.
Wrastlin' Tom.
That's. I mean, I feel like that could go real bad if they find out you have nephews or nieces.
Oh, yeah.
How are you? Yeah. So I mean, is it illegal to wrestle right now? Do you care? Are you quarantining? What are you doing?
Quarantining. I got laid off from my restaurant job. So I've been kind of like trying to stay busy any way I can. Like technically it is illegal to wrestle, at least in this state, because you can't have gatherings over a certain amount. Some shows, like right as the pandemic started, some companies would do like really small shows, kind of like WWE's doing right now. But outside of that, there's nothing happening in Minnesota.
Yeah, but you were telling me that you're getting more into the hardcore. So I mean, you've probably been spending most of your time in Milwaukee, anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back, and I don't who cares about kayfabe or any of that shit, right? So like,
yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that's a fucking old metric that was used to just piss off fucking fucking Cornell or whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares. Like, Vince Russo sure doesn't care. We're gonna do a lot of insider baseball because I mean, you and I haven't really sat down and talked wrestling, but I'm a pretty big wrestling fan. So, what I wanted, like, when you were a kid, because the thing that people don't know is that you used to try your hand at stand up. You used to do stand up comedy.
Yeah.
And that's how I met you. And it was interesting to me because you were always funny. I still have, and we'll play that. You were able to do. Tom Chillstrom just entered the room and says, "I have nephews. Call me the name if you want to call me the name, Corey." Tom, we were talking about how everybody in here was referring to Ricky as Wrastlin' Tom. So, also, I'm sure Ricky says hello, Tom Chillstrom.
How's it going, Tom?
So, yeah, but it's interesting for me because it was like you doing comedy, and then it seemed like you went through like some kind of emotional or mental breakdown, honestly, from the outside. I mean, I don't know much, but I'm just like optically.
Yeah.
And then one of the cooler things that I saw is when you came back to comedy and you crawled yourself out of that dark place, you started to really, like, because you were painting more, you were doing more art that wasn't comedy. And then just out of nowhere, I heard that you were going to wrestling school. And I was like, what the fuck? So how does that, like, is wrestling something that you always wanted to do as a kid, or how did that come about?
Yes. It's something that I never thought I'd have the chance to do. But the academy opened up in Brooklyn Park there back in 2016, and I got to be a part of the first class.
Okay.
So they had a deal where you could sign up for the tuition's like 6 months, and you only had to pay $1,000. And I was like, shit, I got to do this. And
How much
boom.
does a tuition usually cost?
It can range from like $3,000 to $5,000,
Okay.
depending on where you go.
And then how long does class usually last? You said 6 months for that one?
Usually, yeah. Classes usually were like 3 days a week, 7 to 9 at night. And then there's open gym after that, so you can fuck around more if you need.
Sure. And then, like, I suppose you're making all kinds of connections and stuff because there's people that are coming up with you.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And plus, the guys that train me used to work for WWE and shit, so they got their connections too and all that.
But, like, what goes into training a wrestler? What does that mean?
Well, I guess it starts out like kind of depending what part of the business you want to get involved in, because there's some people that just want to do like behind the scenes shit, and there's people that want to be the performers. But it really starts with just taking your first flat back bump and figuring out if you can take that shit or not. And
Are there people that take like one flat back bump and they're like, I'm out?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the classes weed out like usually if you got like 40 people, maybe 10 will stick around, and maybe 3 out of them will actually start working around Minnesota.
Really?
And maybe one of them will actually leave the state, at least from my seeing. So it's really a passion thing. You got to love it because it hurts.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
obviously.
yeah,
Like,
you
one of my
know.
favorite... I mean, so, like, I'll give you a background on me is that my favorite wrestler growing up was always Mick Foley. And so I actually have a lot of connection to hardcore because I got really into the hardcore matches because of him and Terry Funk's death matches in Japan.
Yeah.
And that kind of, like... You know, you're talking like an early age, like I got opened up to that rabbit hole. And this is before, like, you still had to track shit in magazines a lot of the times because there just weren't websites covering it. Like, the internet was around, but it wasn't like what it is now, you know?
Yeah.
It was like all AOL chat rooms, and like the best way to get information was go down to a fucking Shinders and pick up a magazine.
Mm-hmm. I remember that shit.
And it's like, I don't know. So you say 40 people go in and like 10 will make it and 3 will work?
Yeah, roughly. And like every class that comes in is different, but that's usually what happens, because there comes a point where like people realize the sacrifice they got to make to start becoming an actual wrestler and getting bookings, and they might have a
when you
cushy
say
job.
sacrifice, you're not just talking physical, but like kind of like similar. I always thought that the role of a stand-up and the role of a wrestler coming up is almost identical. You know what I mean? We're all playing our hearts out in front of nobody.
Yes. It's the same thing where people they go like, oh shit, this wasn't what I thought it was, and I really like my job or my family. But there's other people that are
Tom
kind of
Chilstrom says, by the way, this talk is better than Raw. Yeah, WWE is garbage right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, Ricky. I hate it.
No, it doesn't. It's the shits right now, and
I'm a big fan of AEW, and I really like NWA Power.
yeah, Power's good.
Power's great, man. And like, God, watching Scott Steiner run around with his deflated fucking arms.
Yeah, I'll always love Scott Steiner. He's a favorite of mine. Oh yeah.
Big Papa Sag. But yeah, all right. So we're gonna. I just want this is gonna be a fucking like Ricky portrait. Maybe even gallery ready if we're honest. But yeah. I mean, I'm putting it out there. I think this might be gallery ready. So you go and you just basically found a discount on it and thought, oh shit, I have to do this.
Yes.
Was there anybody that like was pushing you, or was it just something you came across organically?
It was organic. Like there was nobody that told me not to do it. Like my dad got me into wrestling at an early age, and I was always like, it was always a good thing for me to watch it. Like there's some people who I wrestle with now who their parents hated wrestling, but for me it was different.
Yeah.
So when I signed up to be a wrestler, they were like, "Oh, that makes sense for Ricky."
Well, was there like how like I don't know how to ask the questions. Like I know that you went through like a dark area after comedy, right?
Yes.
So like tell me a little bit about that. Like what was like the rock bottom? Because it did feel like you getting involved in wrestling was a real pivotal moment of just turning yourself around, just mental space wise. And this is just as somebody, I mean, like I've known you a long time and you're my friend, but we don't really hang out that much. So this is just on the surface of what I see when I actually did run into you.
Yeah. No, like I was just kind of disillusioned and like didn't really know where I was going. You know, I ended up moving back with my parents and stuff, and like I was just really looking at myself and being like, what's gonna make me happy? And like, I think around like 2015 is when I actually admitted to my I want to be a wrestler,
Sure.
and
Was it
yeah, it was something
something?
I was seriously.
Was it something that you thought you always wanted but just didn't own up to, or what? Like, because I mean, it seems like it's a priority for you in a way that comedy never was, and I don't mean that as an insult.
Mhm. Well, it's true. It's true. I I always like fantasized being a wrestler and stuff, and all the like things that go into it. And then when I got involved and started doing it, just things just clicked for me. And I don't know, it's just from performing and feeling accomplished and all the crazy ideas I've been able to execute and they've worked with wrestling. It's I mean, comedy was an important part of me being a successful wrestler.
Well, I mean, I was going to get to
Yeah.
that on the back end, but I mean, just watching, and I'm not saying like I'm not trying to talk shit to anybody you work with, right?
Yeah.
But in the limited clips I've watched of you, which I have been about, like me and Alex Jaffe and Tom Chilstrom, we're fans of yours. We follow you, you know?
Mhm.
And the thing about it that's so crazy is like half the time I see you fucking talk to these motherfuckers and like you end up looking so bad because you're so much better than they are.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're not, it's almost like they're not selling it, even though they are. You're just like, and I think a lot of that is just the natural comfort that years of, because I mean, you were doing comedy for years.
Yeah.
It's not like when I say you tried your hand at that, it's not like you did it for 2 months. I mean, like you were probably doing it for like 5 or 6 years, right?
Yeah. There was a good amount of times where I was hitting on multiple mics a night and shit, you know, and but yeah, like doing all those open mics, whether good or bad, brought me to a place where I was able to get over stage fright initially faster than a lot of people I trained with.
Sure.
And and as far as character development, it helped me with that too. So I knew who I was in the ring as the Renaissance character.
So do you
And
feel
so
like you knew who you were almost immediately? Like you just drafted that immediately beforehand?
yeah,
Okay, so
it came
we'll
together.
get you. We'll get over to that because I do want to dive into it, but I really wanted to cover you as a comic and then just kind of the down track and then the
Mhm.
up track and what that meant. Just again chronologically, you know.
Yes.
So you get okay. So you said you were getting disillusioned with comedy, right?
Yeah.
And how did that carry over into your personal life? Like how, like when you say disillusion, I mean, because like you fucking vanished from the scene. Like you were just out, and you did the smart thing too. You weren't one of these people that announced you're quitting or moving or anything. You just disappeared.
Fuck off. Yeah,
And
that was
what was the like what was the moment? Because I mean, like to give up something that you had been going traction wise, and I'll be the first one to say it. When you quit, I was really mad at you about it because I was like, God damn it, this kid's so talented and he's just setting himself years back. Little did I know you would find what you're supposed to be doing, and now because of that experience, you would be on track. And it's funny because for me, the same thing happened with improv. I went and did improv for years before I did comedy. And then
Yeah.
once I realized I hated everybody in the improv scene, I quit and just thought that's what it was. And then eventually when I started comedy again, the first time I hit the stage as a stand-up comedian, I was like, oh no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about so first off, like what happened? So how many years were you doing comedy? We'll take this as segmented interviews. We'll go a little bit on the comedy, the downside, and then we'll go to the wrestling stuff.
Okay. Let's see. 2010, like late 2010 is when I started getting involved with it again. That was like first time I went to Corner Bar and stuff. And then I did that consistently till
What was the like starting thing that got you started doing stand-up? Like why stand-up originally?
so I went to high school with Justin Colucci, Alex Stein, and Jesse Towler. And we all like kind of got into comedy together. We used to make like sketches and shit back when YouTube was really young.
Mhm.
And then like 2008, we're like, oh, Acme has an open mic. Apparently, you can go up at your first time. So we all started doing that. And then I enlisted in the military and I got medically disqualified. Then I came back. Then Alex hit me up like, hey, you want to go to Corner Bar? I'm like, ah, sure. And that's kind of how it started.
So do you think, like, in some ways, like, do you think that maybe you just kind of tagged along to them, and that if left to your own machinations, maybe you wouldn't have even started comedy?
That's possible, because it was definitely like my closest friends got involved in stand-up, so I just kind of followed them, you know.
Sure. So what happened? Like, what was the moment where you started to get? Because you also kind of faded off in waves. Because you would be gone for like a week, and then you would come back for like a week, and then you'd be gone for 3 weeks, and then you'd come back for like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, I don't know. And again, I'm not like, I'm your buddy, but like it just seemed like the right before you quit, the couple times you'd pop back up, it seemed like you were going through some dark fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. I know, like I do have mental illness and stuff like that.
Wait, back up. You're telling me the stand-up comedian / professional wrestler has mental illness?
No shit. But back then I didn't manage it very well. That
Okay.
was one factor. There was also the factor of family stuff. My dad's health was getting really bad.
Sure. So it's
That
kind of
was
like a
great
bunch
line.
of issues that just compounded on itself.
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down to one thing. I also had issues with I felt like with stand up I was wanting to do more experimental shit with characters, and there'd be times where I'd go to particular open mics and certain people would shit on what I did, and that really kind of got old. It was a
Okay.
bunch of stuff, really, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, I mean, I remember vividly, like one of the last times I saw you before you quit comedy, and I came up and said, "Hey," and you're just like, "Hey," and like you normally have this weird boisterous energy to you, and you just didn't have it, and you just like, it just seemed like you were so sad, and then I just didn't see you for like a year and a half. Like
Yeah,
I would frequently log into Facebook, look over to where you were just to make sure you didn't off yourself. That's how worried I was about it, because I'm a real vibes person. You know what I mean? You get vibes from
Yeah.
people. And
Mhm.
there was this real like sad, like desperate vibe almost. You know, like
Mhm.
like you didn't want to be on Earth, but you weren't going to take any actions to fix it type shit, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like 2014 was especially the year for that.
What was rock
That
bottom on that? Like where was the point where you're like, "All right, I have to get my mental illness under control"?
April 2014, I was putting together plans to off myself, and my mom actually like kind of got me to admit it one day. We're at home,
Now,
and
when you
she
say
based
putting together plans, like, what do you mean? Like, you were like figuring out, like, okay, what were your plans? Were you gonna like pills, guns?
guns. I was gonna drive off. I was gonna kind of do like a Carrie Von Erich and just kind of drive off into the wilderness and just shoot myself.
Of course you were, Von Erich.
Yeah,
That's
naturally.
look, don't kill yourself, but if you're gonna, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, and my mom's been through that shit, so she basically said, "You need to go to the hospital." And I was like, "Fuck it, let's go." So I went to the hospital for a week up at Mercy. And that kind of helped set me straight a little bit and be like, okay, I really need to like think about my life, what's gonna make me happy, because I don't want to die, you know. I
Yeah,
want to get through this shit, you know.
yeah. Well, that's kind of how it is. Savage Dragons D said, "I don't mind this guy. He looks like a younger, thicker Sandman, but he sounds like a ginger Tom."
I like it.
Mikey Two Milk says, "I don't manage my borderline disorder. It's a wild ride. Some days manic and happy, others dark and suicidal. It's a trip, man."
Hmm. I have like a persistent depression with an anxiety, so like mine's just like just the same greatness constantly.
He said, "Whoa, what the fuck is in this guy's head?" I don't know. I think those are chopsticks or knives. I don't know. I picked a picture of you where you have like wood dowels hanging out of your head.
Oh, the skewers?
Ah, they're skewers. That's what they are.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I went back and forth from the skewers, and then I also have the like suffer for your art one with you with the looks like a painting, and like you kind of look like Terry Funk in that picture.
Huh.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
so enough lightening up the dark mood. We're talking real shit here, man. So okay,
Yeah.
so you wake up, right?
Yeah.
You're in Mercy. How did you get there? Like, how did they? You told your mom, and then she had you admitted, or what?
I told my mom, and she like called an ambulance on the spot.
Okay.
And this ambulance went and picked me up, and I just kind of sat in
Like,
there.
what happened? She was just like, "You're being weird," and you're like, "No, I'm not," and she's like, "Yes, you are," and then you're like, "It's a Von Erich impression, mom."
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like, I just couldn't lie to her.
Yeah.
And I just basically spilled the beans about like, this is what I'm planning to do. And then she's like, just go to the fucking hospital. I'm going to call an ambulance. I'm like, I ain't going to say no. I
So
can't say no.
so
I love my mom,
do you think that if you and your mom hadn't had that interaction, you might have actually killed yourself that day?
It's possible, yeah. Or at least like later,
Sure.
because shit was getting worse and worse.
What kind of just personal shit and all the extenuating circumstances? I suppose like not doing comedy or feeling that had to feel like a failure when you step back from that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because I was just, working 2 shitty part-time jobs and just living in Big Lake and not really having an artistic outlet.
Sure.
It was horrible.
So then, okay, so you get through Mercy, and that's kind of the rock bottom, and you're starting to. So what is the what are the pieces that you start to piece together? How do you go about that? Like, what do you're just trying to figure out what you want? Because I mean, at this point, like you said, you're working 2 shitty jobs, you're living in a shitty town, and what up until that point, I would think like what you felt really passionate about in comedy didn't feel like it was fulfilling you, because I noticed like right around that time, it seemed like you really leaned on your art a little bit more.
Yeah. I produced too much of that shit, and that kind of helped me start feeling a little better. Then I started hitting the gym more, and then I started watching more like non-WWE wrestling, and I think that might have like sparked something.
Well, yeah, because WWE is fucking trash. Vince McMahon needs to die because Hunter Hearst would run a much better company.
He would. But yeah, that kind of opened me up to like shit that I like just got bored one day and I started looking up wrestling schools. I'm like, there's nothing.
Okay, do you remember like was it a specific indie person or a specific indie promotion that like really got you fired up about this?
Let's see. Probably New Japan.
Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom's dope.
I watched Wrestle Kingdom 9. I saw Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kota Ibushi, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I started getting into. I even started watching like Big Japan death matches and stuff, and went to WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I mean I tell people this all the time, and I think I've been to 3 of them now. Like WrestlePalooza is easily my favorite wrestling event that I've ever been, and I will go to every single one if I can. Yeah. They are just amazing. Like they're up there. The other one I really liked is I forget who did it, but like they used to do wrestling outside of Calhoun Square in the parking lot.
Oh, Primetime.
Yeah, Primetime. And that was another like really fun just indie aspect. It's you get into the indie stuff and immediately the main products seem to fade to me. Like I don't give a fuck about the WWE and I was raised on it. And Undertaker is one of my favorite wrestlers. So beyond watching him once a year, I could give I don't care about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
K-Fall the Great wants to know if you're into docking.
Not yet. I've never tried it.
But okay, so let's get back. Let's get away from all this docking talk and back into the nuts and bolts. I get it. It's a nuts and bolts joke.
Ayo.
Yeah, that's what I like. So okay, so you're watching some indie show, right?
Yeah.
And when does it occur to you that like shit, I should do this?
Oh, like halfway through 2015.
Okay.
I'd say that's probably the point. And then I moved back to the cities around that time. And yeah, I was still making art. I was doing some improv. And I get what you mean about doing improv and shit, because that got frustrating quick.
Yeah. Improv's garbage.
Oh, yeah.
It's like improv is literally like it might be my most hated art, and I always wonder if it's because of just my interaction with it. But when I went through improv, I was at the Brave New Workshop and I went through a bunch of their levels, but every single person there was one of just the worst people I've ever met, and they're just like not cool, they're not good, and it's just like. It's like everybody that doesn't have the talent to be a stand-up comic or an actor conjugate to judge people. That's what the improv scene is in Minneapolis, or was.
Mm-hmm.
How long did you do improv?
Probably like a year, because I took classes up at Huge.
Sure.
And I ended up getting frustrated because I wanted to do really fun, creative, experimental shit. and people would flake all the time because they would be those people that would be like, "Oh, I'm just doing it for fun. I got a cushy job, blah blah blah." And I'm just sitting there
Right.
like, I need a fucking outlet. What the hell am I gonna do? And
That's
that's
like
literally
that is exactly how I got into stand-up comedy. I was in an improv group, right? And everybody had like kids or a job, and like we just couldn't fucking practice. And then I just had this weird moment where I'm like, you know, what I'm trying to do is so hard that I'm not going to put it in the fate of other people collaborating with me. I'm going to put this on my shoulders, whether or not I do have that, you know?
yeah. No, totally. That's the great thing about wrestling too, is like at the end of the day, you're in charge of your own career, you know. And that's like about the time that I opened up Facebook and I saw an ad for the Academy. It was opening up in November 2016. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Now, when you first saw the Academy ad, you just thought that you wouldn't be able to afford it, though, right?
Well, I was like, I'm gonna make it work somehow.
Right. You're like, it's time to sell some fucking kidneys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you hit the Academy. That goes 6 months, right? Do you feel immediately like when you like was there some moment where in wrestling, like not after the Academy, but while you were studying it, right? Like while you were learning, was there a moment where just something in your head clicked and just said, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing"?
You know, I'm not sure if I maybe it might have been when I got booked for my first match.
Sure. So it might not have been during the Academy.
Yeah, because I think like because I was helping out with ring crew a bunch of shit, you know, networking, and then I went to this one company that ended up being Showtime Championship Wrestling, and I was helping them out. Their show did really well, and the promoter came up to me and Cal Pro, like, "Hey, you guys want to work a match next show?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, it's real now." I think that was probably the moment.
Okay. And how soon after getting out of the so like when you're in the Academy, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys do like are there fake like sparring matches? Are there like is there any kind of like what's like I understand the aspect of like learning how to like work and learning how to like take bumps and get people over and all that shit, right? But is there an aspect of it where they talk about like or just really make you emulate like a real match? Like did you feel like coming out of that Academy you were prepared to do this?
Yeah. Well, the thing is being at camp can only prepare you so much until you get into a live crowd. Because then like that's when shit like because like usually at camp we'll have matches and like Ken Anderson will grade them or Davari whoever's there, and that's like okay blah blah blah. But then you try and take that to like when you're working somewhere in St. Paul, say you're working a match and nobody's biting on it 2 minutes in, then you're like, oh shit, what do I do now? So like I was as prepared as I could have been, I think.
Sure. So they taught you some tricks, not just taking bumps and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they taught you like all that stuff. And what is like the modern school's like stance on like kayfabe?
Basically, I mean kayfabe's dead, but also respect the business at the same time.
Because I feel like the problem, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but I feel like the weird problem with the WWE right now is that they're the only promotion that just is declaring kayfabe dead, whereas like your Ring of Honor, your AEW, your NWA Power, they just disregard it when they want to, otherwise it's all good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's like you'll sit here and you'll be like, oh, kayfabe is dead, but then over there is fucking Thunder Frog with all his storylines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like when you guys were in there, were you taught like so it's how can like I know back in the day with kayfabe it was like this like non-speak about anything code. Is the whole mentality in the business a little bit different now? Like everybody just thinks that's dead?
It's about halfway there because
there still small promotions that are like, no, we're sticking to kayfabe.
Yeah. But the thing is that so much of wrestling is still ingrained in that culture because like a lot of the lingo that we use when we put together matches and shit is still like shit that if I was to like talk to somebody about how I go over a match, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So there's still elements of it there, but for the most part, it's like, you know, we know it's fake ass wrestling and shit, as we say.
Yeah. Tom Chilstrom just said hashtag beat up Kyle Pro.
Absolutely, I missed that. Fuck.
The K Fall in the Great said, I worked behind the ring for a while.
Oh yeah.
Just trying to catch up on these because you're making me so enthralled in the conversation. I have to catch up on these assholes because I'm not paying attention. Talking about a banana hammock. Mikey Two Milk says, this is another great guest, Corey. You on fire lately.
Thank you.
K-Fall in the Great said he worked behind thing. He goes, I watched all the banana hammocks, and some of them had stains.
Oh yeah. There's those bigger guys. They can't quite get down there sometimes, And the worst is when you're in a locker room that's super tiny, and you got one of those big guys that hasn't washed their singlet in forever,
Ugh.
and they fucking pull it out. And it's just bam.
How smelly are those in the ring sometimes?
They can get pretty bad. I remember I did a battle royal once where there were like at least 3 people that had unwashed taints, and you could smell it like across the ring. And then one of the guys came over, started lighting me up with strikes, and I'm like, God, go away. And I just eliminated myself.
I'll just submit. Just don't touch me.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Ran out of thoughts. Just cheered 10 bits. Thank you so much. That's super rad. Yeah, I can't even imagine. That's kind of funny. Like, that makes sense to me, but it's also weird to me that, like, somebody's job is to wash them. You know what I mean? Like, backstage.
Yeah.
That sounds real weird and gross. So, all right. You get into your first match. You're feeling that momentum, right?
Yeah.
How soon? So, okay, let's go back, or maybe it's around the same time. When did Ricky Norton, the Renaissance, like, birth? When did that idea of that character first start?
A couple months in the training, I'd say.
Okay, and it was just like you, like, all right, I need to, it's such an interesting, unique angle, the whole, like, gallery ready and the Renaissance. Like, what was the genesis of it? Like, how did you come to, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Like, take us through how you created it.
Like right off the bat, the academy, they talked to us about unique gimmicks and shit, and like I had the benefit of being coached by Ken Anderson, he had one of the most unique gimmicks at the time, where he had the fucking mic coming down and shit. So he really harped on us about having a good unique shit.
Yeah.
And so I talked to him.
What is that guy really like? Is he crazy?
Oh, yeah, he's crazy, but he's a good guy.
Okay.
He gives a shit, and he's a great trainer.
Sure.
But yeah, I talked to them and talked to Davari about fucking. I'm thinking about doing this evil art student thing. They're like, that sounds interesting. Blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I need an interesting nickname. So I went and Googled a bunch of names, and the only one that wasn't taken up was Renaissance. Like, all right, we'll use it.
What was your first name that was taken?
Firebrand. And looking back, it's like, that's so bad.
Like Rembrandt, but with fire?
Yeah. Thank God it was taken by 20 people.
Yeah, 20 morons. What were some other ones you came up with that were taken?
Just like the artiste, which is kind of I can't remember. I was actually thinking about not being Ricky Norton. I was going to be like, what was it? Richard Von Mar was one name I was going to do.
You were going to Von Mar.
Because I was at a mall and I saw the Von Mar store, and I'm like, yeah, that might work as a gimmick.
Von Mar is a good wrestling name.
Who knows? Maybe I'll go to NXT and change it.
Yeah? Is that what's next? Is NXT on your radar?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I kind of I want to go to Japan because my buddy just did, and he said it was awesome.
Oh, nice. That's fucking rad. So, all right. Yeah. So you get this gimmick, right? Like, I know when you were first doing it, you didn't have the catchphrase. Where did Gallery Ready come from?
I don't remember when I first said it, but it was something that came from art school, where professors would be like, you got to make sure your paintings are gallery ready for the student show. And I think it just popped into my head during when I was doing a promo or something. And I don't know how it stuck, but it just did. It's weird.
And you didn't think it would stick when you made it?
No.
That's so funny. It's amazing how we just don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I first did comedy and when I quit, and you just think, all right, that's it. That's all it is for me, that one dream. And it's crazy to, like, you know, it's crazy to think of, like, you sitting here now in 2020, if you could talk to that kid that was struggling after comedy and all the compounded personal stuff. And just be like, hey, man, hold in there. You hold into there, life's going to get better. Pretty soon people will be breaking fluorescent light tubes over your head.
Yeah.
So all right, so you get out of school. You started playing around. I know I saw you a bunch on some VFWs. I still have not seen you live other than doing comedy. But you started doing these VFW shows, and where did your traction start to gain from here? Because I know that you're a known guy here, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I started out those VFW shows. The gimmick started to get over, and we did the firm, and that was me, Riley Jackson, and ESQ. And ESQ's retired.
Yeah, I don't know much about the firm, but I will tell you this: Tom Chilstrom shows up in that fucking shirt all the time still.
Yeah, that was kind of like the beginning, because we were just these asshole heels and shit.
Yeah.
And the other guy in the group, Riley Jackson, he's been out to the UK and shit, and he's another big name. So it was kind of a lot of us starting at the same time and finding our groove, you know.
Do you think it was nice? Do you think it was cool coming up with, like, because it seems like it was seems like on the bottom end when you're coming out of school and stuff, it's very low pressure as far as like learning and getting better.
Yeah. Like, obviously I was super nervous back then, but it was pretty low stakes, you know.
Yeah.
Because you still got to figure out what the fuck you're doing.
So then, okay, like what? So you go up, like where's the furthest you've been from Minnesota for wrestling?
So far, Milwaukee.
Sure. And that's where we're going to get into the hardcore stuff here soon. But that's, I mean, what is the conversation, or how do you go from Minneapolis to Milwaukee?
Oh, so that's so I got to know Oren Veidt. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
I mean, I watched your like fuck Oren videos.
Oh yeah, that guy. So this kind of dates back, I think, late 2018 at the VFW Showtime, and they were booking me in my first ever hardcore match against Oren Veidt.
Now, how does that go down as far as the booking aspect of a hardcore match? Do they pay you more for hardcore matches?
Not usually.
Really? So, why would anybody do a hardcore match? Like as the performer, right? If they're not paying you more to do it, where is the inspiration or advantage to doing it? Because it definitely looks like you're fucking yourself up more than in a normal match.
Yeah. I think it's like
also,
a lot of
also, you're the one that Ricky. I have a picture of you choking him right now. Tom just pointed out he's the one Ricky's choking in that photo or stabbing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The hardcore stuff, it really opens up your creativity and shit. And it's a thing that not everyone can do. But when you find out you can do it, it's like a mind fuck.
What do you mean
like,
not everybody can do it?
There's a certain amount of, so like with wrestling, you know, you got to make sure that you do strikes the right way and that you take bumps the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with hardcore shit. Like how there's a way that you swing a light tube, and there's a way that you swing a chair, and there's a way that you blade yourself. And some
really?
people just,
even in the hardcore stuff.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know that, because I mean, like the really good people like really make it look like they're just hitting each other with weapons.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
And that's the thing. Like I found that I just was able to do it, and like it didn't really scare me. And that kind of keeps people away from it, because they'll get nervous and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't take a razor blade to my forehead." But for me, it was like I tried it and I was like, "I like this. Like I get it," you know.
Do you think somehow like your mental illness plays into that? Like just kind of like, ooh, pain, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, a little bit, you know, because I've been through some shit in my life, and I'm like, oh, this ain't too bad, rolling around in glass.
At least there's people cheering. This is way better. Nobody's crying or listening to Megadeth.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you find out, like, how does that, so somebody just comes up to you, because that to me is absolutely shocking that wrestlers are not getting paid more for hardcore matches, just because you would think the health ramifications of them would be so much higher that you would get a little bit more money for it.
Yeah. Well, it's honestly at the end of the day, you're gonna get paid more if you're a draw, so that's the more important deal.
Do you
But
think
at the
doing
same,
these hardcore matches open you up to be more of a draw?
yes,
So is it one of
it's
those things where it's kind of a guided move where like, all right, maybe I'll do some hardcore for now, build a little bit more of a following, and then go back to the regular stuff?
yes in a way, but I also like really enjoy the art of deathmatch wrestling.
Now,
So
when
it's
you
something
say
I'm
that, what
doing.
to you is the difference in the art? Because they're both wrestling.
With deathmatch wrestling, it's more open to like avant-garde and experimental shit, just the community and all that. So like
Like, what do
with
you like?
regular wrestling matches,
How do you mean that?
so when I like with the scene and when you work regular matches, I get really bored because everybody wants to do the same. They work the same formula type of match
Yeah, it's
with
like
the
Hulk
same
Hogan and his
moves.
fucking leg drop. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, but I just getting to know the deathmatch community and shit, and it's like I got this crazy idea. Why don't we fucking wrap a mannequin in barbed wire and use that? And they're like, oh fuck yeah. I'm like, wait, really? You know, and the it's it's basically like when I got involved with death matches, all of my ideas and my creativity got honored, and people were like, "Fuck yeah, Ricky, do that." I'm like, "Really? That's
So like there
awesome."
was like
And
almost
so
kind of
just
a
more and more
built-in
ideas came.
validation to it.
Yeah,
Because like were you finding before that like you would suggest stuff and people would tell you fuck off?
yeah. It's like I like in normal matches, I'd be like, let's have a match where we just stay outside the ring the whole time, or blah 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 blah. But like so many normal matches I have, it's we got 8 to 10 minutes. We got to do the 8 to 10 minutes. We got to have the comeback and the falsie and the blah blah blah.
Right.
And I'm always like, I want to do something crazier
Which
because
honestly, like, is super boring too. Like, I mean, as somebody that grew
yeah,
up wrestling, I mean, that sounds like the fucking old sleeper hold where they fucking grab their arm and they're like, one,
yeah,
two, no.
hmm
Or like kicking out at one. That's I think the thing that really appealed to me with indie wrestling is I remember as a kid watching ECW,
yeah,
and it was the first time I ever saw anyone kick out at one, and it blew my fucking mind.
yeah. That's funny because the one death match that really made me fall in love with it was I actually did that spot. I was working with Orin Vite. We were doing a no ring death match. It was my first ever no ring death match.
Like when you say no ring, it's just on the floor. It's like basically a boiler room brawl then at that point.
Yeah, with the crowd.
Is that the one that had the ladders and shit in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so like I love working with Orin Vite because he always like challenges me and like gets me to do something I've never done before. And so he's like, "All right, I'm gonna hit you with this double foot stomp off the ladder through the door, and you're gonna kick out at one." And I'm like, "Really? Yeah." Then I'm gonna hit you with the light tube fan. I remember we did it in the match. I'm like, "Holy shit, this is crazy."
I like how he's like, you're gonna kick out at one, and you're like, really? So okay, when
Yeah,
you agreed to fucking chop yourself up for the fucking benefit of the crowd, right? When you're
yeah.
on there just being like, all right, this is what we're doing hardcore wrestling. Did you anticipate falling in love with it like you did, or did you just assume, all right, this is my one gig, I'm gonna go over and do another gig later?
Yeah, that was like I just wanted to try it because I'm like, I'll try any style of wrestling. But then like I went down to Milwaukee, I did that no ring match, and the fucking I got over, and then I was like,
What does
I
getting
started
over in a death match like entail?
uh basically just going hard, not being afraid to bleed,
Yep.
um, having good character work and shit, and having just not being sloppy, making sure your shit's tight, just like in a normal match. But like with the deathmatch crowd, it's really you got to go hard for them. You got to because the fans are like really devoted, but they
Sure.
can sniff out phony shit right off the bat.
Right.
Unfortunately, like I did enough in that match to like prove to them that I was worth watching.
So did that feel like, I mean, I know you said like your first match or whatever, but like did you feel a level of acceptance there that maybe you hadn't felt in wrestling prior?
Absolutely.
And what was that like to just be able to just, I don't know, like, cuz it just feels like again, as your friend, right? You were
Yeah.
always a very good stand-up comedian. I do believe that if you put your fucking head down and just grinded, you could be a professional stand-up comedian, no sweat, right? But it also seems like this is fulfilling you and you're better at it than you would have been a comedian. And that's what's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you
It's-
took all your tools of comedy and improv and you brought it with you, you know?
Yeah.
And just think, you might never have found the love of hardcore if you went the way of the fucking Von Erichs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, okay,
No,
so you hit these hardcore, right? And you go over, did you notice, so you do Twitter and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice a big bump in like your social media presence after this shit happened?
Yeah. Because, I mean, for one thing, I'm getting out of the state. And
yeah,
then,
that always has to help.
But also, I'm on streaming services now, and I got it to be on DVD for the first time.
Oh, no shit. You're on a DVD? What are you on?
Go to Smart Mark Video, and like most of the ICW shows over the past year, you can order, and I'm on those.
How cool is that to be able to say that you're on a fucking streaming DVD of wrestling, man? Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, only 3 years in. But I noticed, like, the people that went to the Milwaukee shows that were really into deathmatch wrestling, they'd go into their Facebook forums, and they'd tell other people, like, hey, fucking, he worked a match with Thorne Vite, or he worked a match with fucking Akira, whatever. And then, like, I'd get people following me I never met before. And I was like, oh, shit.
What would you say is, like, your biggest match? Like, who was your biggest name that you wrestled against so far?
D'Lo Brown.
No shit.
Yeah.
Did you win?
No. But the funny thing is that match happened last minute on accident.
Really?
So
is it D'Lo Brown, the guy that, like, broke Snot's neck?
Yeah.
Or Puke, right? It was Puke?
Oh,
Snot.
Draws.
Yeah. That's what it was. Same guy, right?
Yeah. So this is last May. It was me and Bill Williams were doing the tag gimmick.
Who's Bill Williams?
And the revolutionary Bill Williams.
Okay.
And we got a tag team, and one of my favorite things is tag with them. And we're going to drop our tag titles to this other team we've been having a feud with for like 6 months. And it's at the biggest show of the year for this company. And it's so big they brought in Road Warrior Animal and like a bunch of other people, like D'Lo Brown, Farouk was there and shit.
Cool.
So it was like a half wrestling con. And so we get there.
What does Farouk look like now? He's got to look like an old tree.
Yeah, kind of. But it was just a weird. This show is infamous for being really weird and fucked up by most people that work the show. So we found out that our match.
Like they fucked up demented show, or fucked up as in they fuck it up.
They fucked it up. Like just a lot of bad booking. It just.
Sure. So like everybody that was looking at it on paper kind of knew it was going to disrupt and blow up in front of itself.
Well, we didn't quite know that. It was most of it came to fruition at the show.
Sure.
Like, for example, so we were told like 3 months in advance that Sheik Adnan Casey was going to manage us in this match. And we go to the show. We still haven't got a confirmation because we're putting together a match and we're thinking like, oh, Sheik's going to have a spot in there. We're talking to the promoter and he's like, well, I haven't talked to him about it yet. We're like, what? Okay. And then we find out 15 minutes before a match starts that he can't do it because of his knee. And another thing about our match is that Animal's going to come out at the end when we cheat to win and restart the match. And then we're going to do like a big waterfall sequence and end it. And so we had it all planned out. We're about to go up for a match and we're talking to Animal, like in face paint, backstage about the match. And Animal like kind of shits on it and basically changes our finish. And we're like, well, we can't say no to Animal.
Right.
And so we did it. When he comes to interrupt us, he flubs his lines. And then we do the finish, and it's like, okay, whatever, that was fine. Then we go backstage, and he kind of bitches us out because he doesn't like intergender wrestling because the tag team we were facing was intergender. And we put him over, but he's just like, you can't hit a woman in a ring. And we're like, shit. We're like standing there like, we can't say shit to this guy. And we worked hard on this fucking program for 6 months now.
I hear that guy's a dick, though.
He is, yeah. And it was so disappointing. And Bill was super pissed. And so I go over to concessions. It's intermission. I'm eating a piece of pizza. The fucking promoter comes over to me and he says, yeah, I need you and Bill to work the main. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, D'Lo wants to put the babies over because originally D'Lo was going to face another baby face. And D'Lo was like, nah, let's have me tag with the guy and we can face some heels. And he said, well, we worked those guys from earlier. We're like, shit, we're not going to say no to that. So we go over, we talk to D'Lo. 15 minutes before we go out, we put together a match. Nicest guy you ever meet.
So that was like the second match of the night?
That was our second match of the
When
night.
you say, okay, here's a question that I have, right? When wrestlers say they put together a match, does that just mean you choreograph like the way that shit will go down, or what does that mean?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And everybody's different. Some people like to build a house of cards, as we say, where they like to script everything out.
That seems like that would be really annoying.
It is. I like to like plan like the essential spots and like get the story down, but leave enough room to call shit because you never know how the crowd's going to react, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That's basically what D'Lo's like. Super cool guy. He's just like, thank you guys so much. You know the Sky High. And I'm like, yeah, I know the Sky High.
Yeah, I know the fucking move. Did you?
Like,
how hard did you have to cover the jizz collecting in your shorts? You're like, yeah, I know it.
Quite a bit, you know. Especially after you deal with Animal being a dick and you meet D'Lo Brown, he's super cool.
That's always, I mean, that's always the best. Like I've met and worked with as a comic Mick Foley, and like this is like no lie, he's my favorite fucking wrestler ever, and he was a childhood hero. And then I meet him, and he was exactly how I thought he would fucking be. And that's like you can't even put a value on that. Like he's just an awesome dude.
Yeah.
And he did a like speak and meet and greet thing at New Hope, right? And he's always been notoriously cheap, and he was bitching about the price of the appetizers. not like bad, just like, ooh, that's pretty steep. Like just, like all cool about it. But okay, so do you think like Animal got more pissed because D'Lo was cooler? Or?
I don't know. Like I think just like when I look at Animal, I see him as a guy who kind of feels entitled because he's been successful his whole career. And nobody's ever said no to him because he's a big jacked guy.
Well, and he also, like, I never thought that he was the good, like, he was never the guy there. He was the tag along. I mean, without Hawk, he's nothing.
Yeah, he was just a hot tag guy to fucking bum people.
Right. He's like any fucking muscle, like not, this isn't a like-to-like comparison because he ended up being a better wrestler, but it's like Kane. Kane literally could have been fucking anybody because you were wrapping a gimmick up within another gimmick.
Yes. That's very true. He could have been anybody else they threw into that fucking role, you know? But it's like, I don't know. Like, I think when you've lived that lifestyle and you think your shit doesn't stink, it's like, that's just the way you're going to be. I mean, the guy made, I can't remember how much, but he made I think he almost made like
Jeff,
10.
hold on. Jeff Rogers said, this conversation rules. I'm terribly bummed about shitty device response time. It keeps clocking and stalling out on me. I've been trying to reset for 30 minutes. Love you both, but I'm frustrated and just can't make it through. Jeffrey, that's fine, man. Just come back tomorrow and watch it when it's already pre-streamed. It'll be here or on YouTube. All right, go ahead, man. Sorry.
What was I saying?
You were talking about how Animal's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And how he is, in fact, not gallery ready.
He's not. He's not.
Also, if your big fucking gimmick is face paint and shoulder pads, get fucked. What are you, Legion of Doom fucked Sting? Eat a dick.
Yeah. The business is weird. I've met a lot of great people, and I've met a lot of shitheads, and
Is it really like how many people do you see? Like I'm sure you've met guys who people know, but how many people do you see where like they just never made that next rung, and then you meet them and they're absolute dick whistles, and you're like, oh, this makes sense now. Because I remember reading an article about Sabu, and like Sabu was one of those guys where I'm like, I wonder why he never got up and got over like in WWF style or E or whatever. And then I read about it and like this guy's just the biggest notorious D-bag that nobody wanted to help ever.
yeah. You meet a few of those people along the way, but you usually kind of stay away from them. Fortunately, I haven't had to work matches with a lot of those people.
Sure.
Which is nice, because that's the worst when you hear about the reputation of somebody and you have to work a match with them, and you're like, are they going to respect my gimmicks? Are they going to fucking sell for me? I know I got to sell for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think like that's, and I know that's who you are, Ricky. Like even if someone's a shithead to you, you're not going to let them drag the shithead out of you because then they win, and you understand that. Like you seem like the kind of guy that like if somebody's throwing hard fists, you'll just be like, well, I guess we're doing this now. I mean, it's not a light tube. You can get fucked.
Yeah.
So all right, what? Oh yeah, here's something. Who's got the hardest punches that you've worked with?
Oh,
Stiffest. Who's got the stiffest punches?
let me think here. Well, I can tell you, chops. It's Eric Cannon.
Yeah, I hear. Actually, I've talked to people about Eric. I'm also friends with Billy Blaze,
Yeah, yeah.
who's kind of a shithead, but I love him. He's my guy. And he was talking about Eric too. Like Eric's got a very big reputation of like his chops are not fake. Those are not fake chops.
Nah, they're real.
He's
Like
he's trying to get that slap noise heard in the upper deck, even if it's just at a VFW.
He's done that. Like, oh, was it the Richfield Legion? He chopped Angel Dorado so fucking loud that like you could have heard it in the bar. It was just it had this tenor to it. It was insane. We were in the locker room. We heard that. We're like, fuck.
What do you think? What do you think is something like take us into the locker room for people that don't know? Like what is the fraternity of brotherhood that is a locker room? Because I know what a green room is, but I don't know what like a locker room is.
Locker room is first thing. It's limited to like the workers, people involved with the show. I say like the locker room's pretty sacred. Like
Sure.
you like it's don't even bring a significant other in.
Yeah,
You know?
it's only people working. Like I would say, don't even bring people who aren't even on that show. You know, other wrestlers maybe.
Yeah, I've seen that shit like laid down too, and I don't disagree with it. You know, basically, you know, you sit there, you set up, we respect each other's space. Like it's expected that if you were even to leave your wallet out sitting on the middle of a table, no one's touching that wallet.
Kind
Like,
of like the green room. I mean, that's a big thing in the green room too. Like it's known that in the green room, like you can bring significant others in there. That's not really a thing, but like I don't know, like at Acme or any other major club. I mean, you could leave your fucking social security number on top of your credit cards and all your money, and nobody would fucking touch it.
Yeah.
Because the moment somebody did touch it, they're ostracized and kicked out of the guild, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
What's the shittiest thing you've seen somebody do in a locker room? You don't have to give names, but just like, what's the shittiest thing you've observed since you've been wrestling?
Let's see. There was one show I was at where one wrestler got their money stolen, and nobody found out who it was, as far as I know, to this day. Because it was one of those deals where the locker
Was
room
that right after you showed up in comedy with the new leather jacket?
Ooh, maybe.
Just fucking with you.
No, so it was fucked because I was at this theater and there's like two doors where it's like kind of an open entryway into this locker room. So a lot of people were walking through, people
Sure.
that worked at this theater, people doing ring crew that I wouldn't approve of going in there. And it's one of those deals where it's like,
What do you mean? Like, so you as the like wrestler can approve people to come in and out?
yeah,
So is there times where like somebody brings their significant other and everybody's like, oh, this isn't cool, but whatever?
yeah. But for me, like I wouldn't be afraid to say like I just don't feel comfortable with them in here because we're going over our matches, we're butt naked, we got all of our money's laying out, you know. We can't make it an environment where people feel like they're welcome because this is strictly for performers.
Right.
This is like an area where we need to figure our shit out. We're doing matches where we could drop each other on our heads, so we have to have a clear mind about all this.
Right.
We don't want to be.
Do you think it's even worse, like as a hardcore match? Like, is there like what like safety ramifications wise? And I'm actually playing one of the videos you sent me in the background while we talk. I'm gonna post it there for people. But yeah, like, do you think like the aspect of just having it be a hardcore makes it like harder? This is actually the Orin Vet Time Bomb match.
Oh yeah,
And this took place in Milwaukee, right?
that was in Grand Forks.
Okay. I think what we'll do is we'll just watch some of the carnage and then we'll come back to see the intro. But I just wanted to have something nice and rolling for everybody because I'm not really, we'll even full screen. I'm not really keeping up on the comments because I'm more interested in the conversation we're having.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, like, you get into hardcore. How long? So you say there's like different training into like taking a tube and all that shit, right? Or like blading, and blading is explain blading to people that don't know what it is.
All right, so the blood wrestling is typically real, and there's a specific technique we do to get it, where we'll take a piece of a razor blade, cut it down to like a little point, And what I do is I'll tape it to my wrist tape. And if I'm doing a hardcore match, somebody hits me with something that has impact on my head, I'll go self over to like a corner. I'll pull that little piece of blade out and I'll poke myself in the forehead a couple times.
Sorry, on the video, you just are painting with that dude's blood. That's
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Is that a shtick you do often? Because that's really funny.
I've only done it twice now.
Dude, I think that needs to be gallery ready because that's. And here's comes you taking a tube. So all right, you go into the corner, you tip the point. How do you take a tube?
Tube. So there's a specific type of tube. It's called a T12, and they explode rather than like shatter. And when you take it or you give it, it has to be like the middle part is like you want to aim for the middle so it kind of explodes and the two pieces kind of go the other way.
Sure. What about the
And
chemicals that's inside it though? Like this dude just broke a tube over your head and then cut you with it. Like there's no way you're not getting chemicals into that burn.
The chemical amount is so minuscule. It's like Diet Coke, how they say Diet Cokes can give you cancer.
Sure.
It's like the amount that you'd have to consume in that match. You wouldn't get there.
Okay. So then, all right. So specifically, it's a certain kind of tube. I mean, that's the real key to it, right?
Yes.
And so, like, how long did it take you to learn how to take hardcore bumps the right way versus? Because you said it took 6 months, right? To get to get through the academy, right?
Yeah.
So then, like, how long did it take before you felt comfortable enough to hardcore?
Couple years.
That long?
Yeah. Well, when I got introduced to it, I still like. I kind of like when I got into hardcore, I started off with taking chair shots and shit. Then eventually I moved on to going through tables and doors and then light tubes. So I gradually moved on up to things.
What did you wait? What was the first one?
So the first hardcore match I did, I just I got hit with chairs and I gave chair shots. Nothing crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that we're in a day and age where chair shots are considered hardcore.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was like, I mean, in the early 90s, the concussion era of wrestling, that's just what you did.
Yeah. Like, I'm not taking chair shots to the head. I'm not doing that. Some people do. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll take them. I'll take them anywhere else. But like.
Why not? Why not there?
Because the CTE shit, like we know more about it now, and the impact. If you got hit with a chair on your back, you'd instantly go like, oh, I don't want to take that on my head. Because when you take a tube on the head, it's not that bad.
Sure.
It doesn't have
because it explodes.
That blunt force. Yeah, it just explodes. Boom. Get cut up a little bit. Because there's much more shit you can do that looks crazy.
We just saw you kicking out at one. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
I think that I mean, like my biggest complaints about main product wrestling is that nobody kicks out at one, right?
Yeah.
And then like they did this bastardization of finishing moves where they're not really finishing moves anymore. And that's what I like about the like indie circuit is like they just get that and like all the shit's crazier anyways. But it's like, how many like nobody gets up from a fucking like whatever F5 or whatever Brock's is, but then like we got to this era where it's like, oh shit, we're going to need 3 DDTs to keep this motherfucker down,
Yeah. Yeah, it's bullshit. Matches go way longer than they should, in my opinion.
Savage Dragons D wants to know if you ever got beaten with a guy with a black steel chair or just the gray ones.
Both.
Which one hurts more?
Gray.
Why gray?
They seem to be a little thicker, and they usually they're taken from the venue, and usually the venue's been around for 50 years. So those chairs are old and thick.
They're oxidized.
Oxidized and shit. The black ones you just get at Target, and they're not that bad. They usually loosen up after a few shots.
Okay. See, that's weird because you don't see the gray ones as often as I feel like you see the black ones. Or sorry, you don't see the black ones as often as you see the gray ones, so you would think it would be the other way around.
No. I like the black ones personally. That's what I use myself.
Yeah, you got I like that you have a brand. You're like, yeah, I like this one. It's a little bit better.
Yeah. I have a chair at home right now that I use.
O216 wants to know if you sell your blood paintings.
The last one I gave away for free, which I shouldn't have. But I'm planning on doing that in the future.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, you should get some kind of you should take the best ones, take pictures, Xerox it, and sell those as posters. I mean, people would buy that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Plus, how funny would it be to have like a gallery of blood behind you? Oh, you're ready for the gallery. Now here's your fucking blood sample. You're in the gallery. Like Dexter, but with paintings.
Absolutely.
Now you're grabbing a knife out of a cork board and you're hitting this dude with a knife.
Yeah.
Like a crazy person, you are stabbing him with. Now you're going after his shoes. You hate those shoes.
Yep. And that's one thing about hardcore wrestling that I like. It really elevated my character because it turns out like the crazy artist thing worked well with like homicidal maniac having a knife and shit.
Sure. Well, and it's also got I would think that it also makes more opportunity, like you were saying, because it's got the avant-garde stuff, you know? You can do whatever the fuck you want, and you're still back for it, you know?
Yeah. It also taught me how to be a better babyface because doing deathmatch.
Texas Theft goes, a skull? A fucking blood skull? They're like, you're cutting that dude's head open right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a way I'm doing it, but I ain't gonna tell you that.
No, you don't have to tell me that. I'm not telling you. I don't want to know the secrets. I just, like, here's the thing. I love the fact that kayfabe is gone because to me, that made it more unrealistic. Like the fact that I can sit here and have a conversation with you where you're like, yeah, there's a way I do this, but I'm not going to tell you. Like, that's normal. Like, we all go see fucking magicians do magic. We know that's not fucking voodoo, but we don't want to know how it's done, you know, because once you know how it's done, then all of a sudden you can never enjoy it being done again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I legitimately, like, because I grew up watching these, like Japanese death matches, and it just does not seem like there's a lot of method to it. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I don't know to this day how the fuck you would practically land on a bag of tacks.
Yeah.
You know, but there's secrets to all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now this guy's pounding in some fucking nails on a thing, giving you a little sweet tribal tattoo on your arm.
Oh, the gusset plate, yeah.
Yeah. That was.
I still have scars from that.
Do you really?
Yeah.
How many wrestling scars have you acquired now?
My left bicep is almost covered, and I've got a good streak on my back.
Nice. Are you proud of them? Like, do they make you feel like a badass?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, because it's like I can see the work that I've done. Like, I bust my ass in a death match, and I go home and I look at the scars. I'm like, sweet. You know?
It's like tattoos for not pussies.
Yeah. And I got paid for it, so that's another plus.
What's the pay rate of something like that? Like, what do you get paid a match typically? Or if you can't disclose it, that's fine too. But I'm just like, what is the pay rate as a performer in wrestling?
Someone at my level, like, I'm still about 50 ideally.
Okay.
If I do it, if the house is bigger, I might make 60 to 75. But if I bring my merch and shit, I've had nights where I've made like 300.
Yeah, I mean, merch is where it's at. You know, every
it's really all about merch.
And that's exactly it. That's again back to one of the similarities between wrestling and comedy. You can't fucking work the road as a feature if you don't have merch.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't get the momentum. You can't get over with the bookers. You know.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to think that you're like taking this much abuse for fucking $70 though.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Are there times where you do a good job and like there's a fuller house so they pay you more?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your connection with Milwaukee? How did you get started over there? Is that just what? Because I know that's a big hotbed of hardcore right now.
Yeah. So what the fuck? Oh yeah. So it's like almost a year ago, and they were doing a first timer deathmatch tournament, and Riley Jackson and Kyle Pro signed up, and they were going to ride down with Ornvite. And I heard about it. I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should sign up for that. And Riley's like, oh, fuck yeah, do it. Just mess. And I asked Ornvite, who should I message? He told me the promoter, and I sent him my shit, and he put me on the bill. And that was basically it. I did that show, and the promoter said,
how nervous
like,
were you going into that first show?
I was pretty nervous.
Now, had you been training hardcore up until that point?
No, because that was the first time I ever bladed myself. First time that tournament, I did 2 matches that night, and I think I took about 10 different new weapons in that match, or both matches.
Why does everybody in the background of this film look like Casey Flesh?
I don't know. It was like that's a combo. They had like 3 bands playing there too, so it was like an interesting crowd.
Yeah, it's kind of fun because it's like a school dance that hired wrestling for an entertainment.
Yeah.
See, now this actually, we're at one of my favorite parts of this match is where you guys are putting tubes up against each other's heads and headbutting them.
Yeah.
Like how? Okay, so obviously the tube explodes, right? But like those have to be real headbutts to do that.
Yeah.
So what do you like? You're scared of chairs, but you're not scared of headbutting through fluorescent tubes?
No. It's different because,
Method. You don't have to give anything away. I'm not trying to get you to like unveil secrets or anything. I'm just talking.
it's really more method because, like, honestly, I would take a headbutt over a chair because the chair is gonna have more momentum coming down at it, and with a headbutt, you can kind of guide to what particular spot on the head you're gonna go. There's a little more like variance with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there'd have to be, right? It'd have to be more.
Yeah.
At the very least, it would have to be more fluid of a interaction. You would think.
Yeah.
Huh, that's crazy. So you did your first hardcore match without being trained. So what the fuck does that look like then? Did you just like were there moments where you took a shot wrong in that first hardcore where you fucked yourself up more than you should have?
No. So the guy we basically learned our shit from Oren Veit, and he taught us really well. Like at the show when we got there probably like an hour before doors. So he was basically teaching us how to blade, how to swing tubes, how to bump on this, how to bump on that.
Why? Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why didn't they teach you how to blade in the academy? Isn't that something that the academy should have covered?
It's kind of faux pas in my opinion. A lot of schools don't do that. That's
Really?
kind of like, yeah, it's I think they really are selective with that shit because they don't want anyone thinking they can go to any shit show and just fucking start opening themselves up, and then they fuck it up, they cut too deep and they start bleeding everywhere.
Right, and then it's bad for everybody.
Yeah. So I understand because like it's funny because like I was at a show with Ken Anderson and I saw him putting together the shit to blade himself because he was in a cage match, so he knows all that shit. Tavari knows all that shit.
Yeah, they're just not. Do you think like they would probably teach you at this point if you asked them like, "Hey, do you have any tips for this?"
Oh yeah, totally. But I think it's like you got to like show that you're involved with the business, you're serious, you're working for
like
credible
you said,
company.
respect the business.
Respect the business.
Do you think like do you think that like because everybody has to see that you've respected the business and you've put in your work? Because I mean, at this point, you've been doing this what 4 years now, 5?
Just about. Yeah.
Do you notice a difference in like has your pay stepped up and just like your gigs stepped up? Like because you said this hardcore, like I mean, how many like this shit doesn't happen? Let's say right, how many hardcore matches would be on your books at that point?
Probably 2.
Okay, is that a lot? Is that typical to just have 2 on the books?
I think so. Well, like usually indie companies, if they'll put you in a program with somebody, and if it takes off pretty well, and you do something for say like 6 months, you'll get at least one hardcore match, and they'll call it a street fight, and it'll just be like kendo sticks and garbage cans.
The old Tommy Dreamer hardcore.
Oh yeah.
That fucking dude, like how he got like labeled the hardcore king with just kendo sticks for a while. Like, he eventually like got into the hardcore, but like he would literally would come to the fucking ring with a garbage can full of kendo sticks. And you're like, watch out, it's hardcore. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That guy from fucking Chumbawamba looks like shit.
Yeah. The funniest thing about this match at Time Bomb is Cannon and Joey Ryan had a match right before us, and they were in the locker room, which is like just the restroom. And I walked
now
back.
you have a weed whacker, FYI.
Oh yeah. It has to do with this part.
Okay, so they're in the locker room.
Yeah, I walked back and I just taken the weed whacker and the finish. Cannon looks at me and he says, "Are you high?" No, I'm dead sober. It's funny because he trained me, so he's seen me progress, and he's just kind of like, "Oh wow."
That's a good guy to have in your corner though, because he's a big mover and shaker locally. I mean, that's like,
oh yeah,
that is WrestlePalooza. I mean, like that's the man.
Yes. That's the man.
And I'm not saying that for you. Obviously, you fucking know all this. Like that's what I hate about these fucking like interview shows, right? Like I say some shit, and then you're like, oh yeah, and it's like, yeah, well, of course Ricky fucking knows. You know what I mean? Like, we got people in the chat room saying they would buy a blood portrait from you.
Oh, it's good to know. I'll try and get some more going once the shit rolls over.
Tax says I'd buy one, a skull, a fucking blood skull, hardcore branding. How much
Let's
does the
go.
ref? How much does the ref get paid?
Top refs will probably get paid possibly as much as the workers because having a good ref is really important, and they'll usually do multiple matches a night.
Okay.
Like the ref we had for our
So
match.
do you have favorite refs doing the circuit, right?
Yeah. The one we have in this match is one of my favorites.
What's his name?
Clark Feldman.
So a ref is such an interesting position in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Because aside from the ref stuff, I mean, a lot of what they're doing in there is making sure that people are being as safe as can be.
Yes.
See, we missed the finishing because I was looking at me. There we go. Play it again. Yeah, but that's so what in your opinion makes a ref good or bad? Also, you can tell it's a hardcore match because they're wearing those fucking polymer covered gloves. You're like, oh yeah, they're not gonna grab any fucking glass shards.
Absolutely. Sign of a good ref is they understand how the story works in the match. They will stay out of the way and get involved when they need to be. They sell everything well, and also they know They know when people are hurt. They'll check on you. Like Clark checks on me a lot in this match. Like he would lean over to me and say "Are you good?" Like yeah. And he's just at the end of the match. He does a concussion test with me and shit. So it's a combination of all those factors.
Have you gotten any concussions yet?
I've got I think at least 3.
Yeah, I think this tube through the table is one of them.
That one wasn't bad.
A power bomb to the table. That one wasn't bad. So, okay, even though it's exploding and shit, you're laying on it, there's no way you're not picking fucking glass out of your ass for a while.
Oh, yeah, that happens, but it's really not that big of a deal compared to,
Tom Chilstrom is just going, Clark.
Yeah, he knows. Clark's awesome.
Here's a good question. Texas Steph wants to know, are the refs trained paramedics?
Not usually, but they'll know a little bit of shit.
Okay.
Especially with deathmatch wrestlers, obviously have more of an understanding of shit. They understand when.
Do you think that deathmatch refs are better prepared than regular refs? I mean, is it one of those things where they have to learn a little bit more like you did?
I think so, but then again, it's really a lot of refs are hybrid refs where they can do both. But I think
how many of them are wrestlers though?
I'd say probably at least the majority of great refs are trained and they know how to take bumps.
Okay.
Not all of them have been workers, but Clark Feldman trained with me at the academy.
All right, here we're gonna roll over, and I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm playing these just kind of at the end of it. We're gonna go back and let people watch the actual walk-ins without you. But this one here is one that you sent me that has looks like some barbed wire rope.
Yeah.
Is this like a 4-way match or what's going on with this one?
Yeah, 4-way.
Sure. How bad is barbed wire as a rope?
It's the worst thing. It gets sticky. It sticks into your skin.
It gets sticky?
Yeah, it'll just get stuck in your back, and then the ref has to pull it out, and it just pulls on your skin.
This one's all blurry. It's all blurry. Oh, there they go. They're trying back in. So this is a 4-way death match. This is fucking ridiculous. Which one is you? Did you shave? Is that you over there?
Yeah.
Okay, the baldy.
I'm bald now.
Linda. Oh, are you? You're bald now?
Well, I shaved my head.
Okay. Now, do you find that your hairstyle or your facial hairstyle improves or hurts your gimmicks?
Yeah. It's I like to do something that kind of stands out.
Sure.
But I also cut my hair because if I do a death match, I don't want to get stuck in shit.
Did you run into that early on?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that beard is just a fucking glass magnet.
Beard's not too bad. The worst is at the end of a match when you have longer hair and it gets all matted down with glass and blood.
Sure.
It just mats up and shit. It's really annoying.
So when you first got into all this, right, the scene culture, was it were you surprised at how well you took to it? Were you oh shit, this is even better?
Yeah, I was really surprised.
And do you now, do you think that there's a better room up? Because you're saying, you're making on that low curve of the money. Do you feel like this is going to represent a high, obviously nothing's happening right now. We all know that. But going forward, I mean, what's the step, what's the next step up from where you're at? Ambitiously, if Everything is on your side.
Yeah.
You can paint your own future. Like, what indie promotion or major promotion are you going to next? What would be your path if you were in control?
I would like to hit up H2O, Game Changer, and work a similar path or Invite where I could go to Japan. And outside of that, I'd love to go to UK too.
Now, was Japan something that was like inspirational? Because again, now we know that you did the comedy thing, right? It didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say it didn't work out. It just turned into this. Because I would say that you're using the tools that you spent a lot of time working on in this.
Yes.
So, like, who was your favorite wrestler growing up? Like, who was like the people that you looked up to as a kid, wrestling wise?
Jake the Snake.
Mhm.
Uh,
I was actually gonna bring up Jake the Snake because holy shit! All right, this dude just jumped off the top rope and broke a light tube over you on his way down
yeah.
with his back. That's cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And you still kicked out at 2. What a pro.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, like so the thing I was gonna bring up is like it's really interesting to me because I've always thought that your Renaissance character, it feels like a hybrid between Jesse Ventura and Jake the Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you do that thing that Jake did so well where you talk kind of low and you say, hey man, it's gallery ready. You want to, like there's not screaming. There's not any of this,
Yeah.
Also, you need to grow your hair back, man. You look too much like Man Scout when you're all shaved.
I suppose, yeah.
Tent. Just had to. Do you know that guy? Is he a cool guy?
I haven't met him yet, but I've heard good things.
That was one of my, like, I went to the last WrestlePalooza, right? Tom was there, and it was one of those things where it was just like when that motherfucker brought out the tent and like actually put a tent out and then fucking like frog splash someone into it. I'm just like, this is we've gone to the highest echelon of what wrestling can be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you so Jake the Snake, let's say, and then just Jake the Snake, that was your favorite?
Jake the Snake, Rock, Austin, Mick Foley, Taker, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair.
So those are the ones that were real formative, and I've always wanted to ask a wrestler this, right?
Yeah.
As you are now doing death matches and you're doing the circuit and you're grinding, right? Who are your favorite wrestlers now, and did they change based on once you knew how this was done, once you were trained in as a wrestler, did who you thought was good change and perspectives of are there people that maybe you hated back in the day where you're like, yeah, but they're fucking on their shit about doing this?
Yeah. I'll have my favorites go by my favorite workers, my favorite promos. I'm a big Randy Orton fan because I love the way he works. I love how he wrestles.
And that's not anything that resonated with you when you were a kid. I mean, obviously he's newer, but I'm just saying that's something that you just as a worker now can respect it.
Yes. And Goldust or Dustin Rhodes, he's another favorite of mine.
Oh shit!
Really?
He's a phenomenal worker because he just knows where to be. He knows how to tell a story. Everything he does is super smooth.
What a dork.
That's crazy because I remember that AEW match between him and his brother, and it really looked like his brother was carrying him for most of it. But he's older now too.
Yeah.
Have you had any matches where you just weren't there and somebody had to fucking carry you through them?
Oh yeah.
What do you feel is your worst match in terms of performance? Is there one that sticks out in your head where you're like, oh, I still fucking remember that? Also, you're taking a barbed wire bat to a motherfucker right now.
Yep. I remember there was one match I had in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin about 2 years ago, and I didn't explain the run-in spot to the guy well enough, and he came out too early.
What is a run-in spot for people that don't know?
That is when somebody interferes in a match somehow.
Sure.
So they were going to interfere and cost me the match, but they came out too early because I forgot to explain something to them, and I got super flustered, and I got super flustered, and I can. One second, I head outside.
No, that's all right. We're just watching you throw people through objects, so whatever.
Oh, totally.
Here's the thing: while you're cutting in and out, you're also driving people through tables on glass.
Yep. That's I got flustered in this spot, and I forgot all my shit, and the guy I was working with was super disappointed, and.
So I know, when you crack these tubes, they break and they explode, right? But how much are those residual pieces fucking you guys up? Because you can see them fucking glittering all over the ring.
It depends. There was one time where a guy took a German suplex and he got scratched up real bad in his back, and he had like 2 deep scars. I had to clean it up.
Is that the worst? Is that the worst example of it, or?
There's worse. The worst deathmatch injury of all time is considered when Nick Gage took a shit can through the ropes, and there were a bunch of light tubes like attached to the ropes, and it sliced an artery.
Did you say
And
Nick Cage?
Nick Gage, yeah,
Like Nicolas Cage, but just Nick?
yeah, Nick Gage.
Oh, Gage.
Like
Okay.
Gagey, yeah. And yeah, he sliced I think actually 2 arteries, died on the helicopter, got resurrected back with a blood transfusion.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Fuck.
like legit. Like,
here's the real question though, Ricky. Did it get him over? That's what I want to know.
oh yeah, they call him the king for a reason.
Mikey Two Milks wants to know, what's your biggest fears? Bees, heights, snakes?
Probably heights. I'm still working on that.
Yeah. A Bombers wants to know, what even hurts you these days?
I'll taking a German suplex and not tucking my chin.
Does that happen often?
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It just sucks because like then the ride home you're all nauseous.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have some concussions. That's just my... I'm not a medical expert, but it sounds to me like you have concussions, if that's what you're saying.
Yep.
So what does the future hold for Ricky? Like, what's next? I mean, obviously this virus sucks. And we gotta wait for that. But I mean, do you have are you doing promos and shit while you have all this downtime, or what are you doing?
I've been doing promos. Right now I'm taking a break and just relax on my brain. But my goal is just to travel more, network more.
And you get to Japan, where you go from there? Like, what do you want? What do you want of Japan? What, like, Wrestle Kingdom? Like, what's the goal?
I'd like to work for Big Japan Freedoms, work Hurricane Hall.
I noticed you didn't mention any of the like classic like South circuits. I'm surprised you don't want to go just from the historic standpoint to like go work down in like Georgia or Texas.
That'd be fun, but like there's like the bigger companies I want to work for, like they're not really based down there.
Sure.
It's more the bigger indie companies will often travel around. A lot of stuff happening in the East Coast right now.
Okay. Where's Minnesota stand and all that? Because I know that we've always been a pretty rich wrestling town with, like, obviously Robbinsdale was like a mecca back in the AWA days, and you got the academy and everything. Like, what's going on here locally? I mean, I know about WrestlePalooza, but it seems like there's more and more of these like minor circuits that are sprouting up here.
Yeah, it's blown up the past few years.
Would you say that the Minneapolis wrestling scene is as good as the comedy scene?
Yes, it's definitely getting there because there's a ton of talent that's come up.
Jesus Christ, this guy just fucking suplexed you back while you had somebody else over a light tube.
Yep.
And it looks like he pinned you and you guys are all laying there hurt, or did you kick out? No, you kicked out maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell with all this bullshit.
I was eliminated. That was my finish.
Okay. So funny. He's obviously dead. Now you, get out of here.
Yeah.
What? I see all the masks. This must have been more recent, or is that just so they don't inhale the glass?
Don't inhale the glass.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the most fucked up thing you've seen in a death match that you've been a part? Like, not that you've been a part of, but like on the bill.
Oh. I've never seen anything too bad yet.
Okay.
But probably that one time that story I mentioned where the guy took a German and he got sliced on the back, because I had to clean that up.
Ugh.
And I was like trying to decide like what I should wipe and what I should keep, you know?
Yeah. Ugh. That's intense. Like that would be a very downer day.
Yeah.
So now, like, you doing promos, you're giving yourself a break, you're just chilling, just living your fucking life, huh? It's pretty exciting, man. That's I'm really proud of you in the fact that like you were down and out, you found what you wanted to, and you clawed your way up to the top, man. I mean, like I know there's way more to go when it comes to like you and your ambition. I mean, like all of us are fucking artists. Nobody's Nobody's happy with where they are, and if you are, you're probably a shitty artist. I've always said that. Like if you wake up as an artist and you're just completely satisfied with where you are in life, you're probably really shitty at your art.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting because I mean, like, it's again, as somebody that like watched you do comedy and was super bummed when you stopped doing comedy, like watching this, it's more interesting to me because it's such a diversion from what you were doing, but it seems to center you in a way that comedy never did.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you're getting paid. Like, you weren't getting paid at comedy yet, right? I mean, you're getting, but like not like this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is something where like you can probably look at it and see the fucking throughway to this becoming a career, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it already has.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's at least a part-time job right now.
Yeah. What are you doing for money now that everything's fucked?
I'm on unemployment.
Yeah, attaboy.
Yep.
That's the thing that always seemed weird to me about wrestling or like bands or anything like that is with comedy, the expenses are so low. But like, I don't even understand how you guys make a living at that price. Like your fucking on the road tours must just be gross.
Yeah. You gotta have a good car full of people, and even then it's still like annoying.
Yeah. Hey, I think you're a great wrestler. How's your car? Bad. I hate you.
Excuse me, bitch.
It's more, yeah, but like you got to have good company. Like the crew I usually go to Milwaukee with are always fun.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Jaffe speaks so highly of you and just Milwaukee in general, and he's got me basically on board to go fucking with him, and you know on the next one because that's just how he is. You know Jaffe.
Oh yeah,
His fucking pickle story, man. Did you ever tell you about that fucking jalapeno pickle thing he brought?
Oh, the jar?
Yeah.
The jar with the cayenne pepper?
Yeah.
That lives in infamy now.
Yeah, no, actually, that's what I wanted to tell you because he was telling us that lives in infamy. So tell the listeners about the story and then tell about the infamy on the wrestling side.
All right, so Alex Jaffe brought some toys.
So hold on. Alex Jaffe, just because you don't know, he's a guest that comes on here quite a bit, and we always talk wrestling, and I have dubbed him the Burt Sugar of leg drops. Because that guy knows more about wrestling than anybody. Like, have you ever seen his fucking collection of shit?
Ah.
Oh, dude. Bookshelves and bookshelves of every fucking video, DVD, magazine. It's crazy. Like, super, like Cornette style. Like crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so go ahead. And he was so excited about this, and he showed me this rank-ass fucking pickle jar in a mason jar, and he's just, like, talking about all this stuff. So go ahead, take it. So explain to me exactly your interaction and the infamy behind it.
Okay, so this jar is filled with cayenne pepper, broken light bulbs, and it's a jar. It's a big pickle jar, thick glass. And
it's a mason jar, right?
It's like a big old mason jar. And as the fans bring the weapons match, and that ended up being Riley Jackson versus Cal Pro, who were on, I think,
Is that something that they don't do anymore because of him?
I haven't seen one since. But so it's Riley and Kyle's first death match ever, and the promoter's getting pissed off. I'm backstage and I can hear the promoter bitching. He doesn't like that they're wrestling too much at the beginning because he says, "I want a death match. I want explosion, fuck tables."
Wait, back up. Is that something that happens? People get bitched about too much wrestling at a death match?
Yeah.
God, what a weird fucking state of mind.
Yeah, and that was just his thing. I think it was mostly because it was a tournament and the matches were shorter. But they start doing their thing. They start doing some spots, light tubes, whatever. And then eventually, I think someone in the crowd pointed to the jar that was in the corner. And Kyle picks it up. He's like, "Oh, yeah? Throw the jar? Yeah?" And he just kind of, just kind of lightly chucks it, and it busts in the ring and crop dusts the entire crowd with cayenne pepper.
The whole crowd?
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm standing back, promoter's freaking the fuck out. What the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna have to pull out of the fucking canvas. And I'm just kind of giggling like, and then they do their finish. They come back. Promoter bitches out Riley, and Riley just gets really sad and dejected. Kyle's just kind of like, "What did I do?"
What happened, guys? Guys, what happened? Oh, that's so funny. How pissed was everybody?
Like this, the promoter was pissed. Everybody else in the locker room thought it was funny. They were kind of like, well, it's annoying that we have to bump on cayenne pepper, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, and like, who cares? As long as the first time you use a gimmick is funny, nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's just legendary. People still mention it to this day. Yeah.
Like, what do you like? They just whenever it comes up about like bringing weapons or what, they're just like, do you remember when this happened? Like, how is it brought up in the circle?
Usually every like other time I talk to Kyle, it comes up in conversation.
And like, do they make fun of you because you know him or what?
Oh no, it's kind of an inside joke now. This, oh, you remember the cayenne pepper and blah blah blah, and like, oh, you brought a jar, make sure there's no cayenne pepper in there.
I just think like he gave me such a laundry list of all the garbage that he had in there that like it's so funny to me that the cayenne pepper is what everybody was pissed about.
Yeah, it's weird because there was a bunch of shit.
Yeah, there was like fucking like habanero seeds. There was like weird ass pickle juice. There was like vinegar and shit. It's just crazy. Like he literally made it to hurt as much as possible.
Yeah.
Who took like so who had that like on them? Like who got hit with it?
When I remember, Kyle dropped the jar kind of by the corner, and people just kind of loosely, like, it got shoved to the side of the glass and shit, so the cayenne pepper just still kind of like got stuck in that one spot in the ring. So people the rest of the night would have to bump on it. So if they had an open sore, they'd fall on some cayenne pepper.
Oh God, that I just can't even imagine. Like, just like I'm such a pussy. Like salt in an open wound pisses me off. I can't even imagine cayenne pepper. Also, guys, don't forget to go to my Venmo and PayPal at Corey Adam Comedy. Donate. I'm putting in the information stuff right now. Plug. See, you forget I'm on a live show before I do all that shit, huh? Yeah, that's fucking great. So what, like, you're on unemployment. You're just giving yourself a break. Is there any, like, schemes or plans that you can clue us in? Like, what's your, you got to have an angle in your head that you're like, fuck yeah.
Let's see. Honestly, just kind of like heightening what I have been doing.
Sure.
I'm thinking about doing something that like more promo based, maybe like some kind of a series that I can put out. So I want to have something that I can produce on a regular basis that incorporates my promos and character work.
Yeah.
But something I could just like put on Twitter and people can like retweet and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've like had time to develop my character and all that, like that's kind of
interesting that you say that though, because like you had this character like weeks or months into the academy, and it's interesting that you're still just working on tweaking it, you know, because you would think all the hardcore tweaking you could do to it would already be done at this point. You know, it's either like, do you find that your character is better as a heel or a babyface?
Right now I've been kind of fascinated being a babyface.
Really? Why is that? You don't seem like the babyface type.
Yeah, I totally. But like, I'm finding that certain mannerisms I have work, and that I'm getting better at selling moves. So like, I can take an ass kicking and make it look good, which is like the key to being a good babyface.
Yeah, I suppose because you have to be like beaten down to the last minute before you triumph.
Yeah. And a lot of my shit is because I've been putting out these promos for so long, people are starting to cheer for me and shit.
Well, I mean, at this point, you're known. I mean, like I said, I know I meet people that talk about you, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, tell people one more time. We're just coming up on time. Tell people one more time where to get a hold of you.
At Ricky Norton on social media, like Twitter, Instagram, shit like that. Ricky Norton on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I post matches and all my promos and shit.
Now, cut a quick promo for this show. I don't really have a name for it, but it's just my Twitch show.
All right. I haven't decided if Corey Adam and his show is gallery ready, but I know I'll make him suffer for art. I'm going to grind him up piece by piece, throw him on a knife board, hit him with a tube bundle, and I'm going to paint with his blood. And the rest, I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw it on the side of the road.
It's fucking awesome, man. Thank you so much for doing this, Ricky. I really appreciate it. And like,
thanks.
I honestly, like, man, you're one of my favorite people on the planet, and it makes me feel like so good just knowing again like how rock bottom your path was. I mean, like your wrestling could have been a Von Erich story, you know, but instead you're still alive and getting hit with light tubes.
Yep.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, have a good one. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Enjoyed it.
All right, we'll do, man. Have a great one.
Bye.
All right, bye. That is Ricky the Renaissance Norin. You can catch him all over the minor circuits. Just a really good guy. And like I said, it's always nice when you see your friends amount to stuff, especially if you're a guy like me. Yeah, it does help me missed Willies. It does help me with rent. That's true. Created yesterday, huh? So that's probably Margaret would be my guess. Will it? Yeah, everything. Donate my fish money? No, keep your fish money, man. If you got extra fish money, like fucking hit me up and like go fishing, dude. Don't sacrifice your mental welfare for me. Nobody wants that.
What up, dude?
What up, dog?
Not much.
Just got off the phone with the Ricky Norin.
Yeah, man. I was literally about to post in the chat there. I'm actually trying to start his Wikipedia page because I know so much about his wrestling career.
Well, yeah, that's actually kind of. I know. We do the big like you're a crackhead joke. So you're a crackhead. I love your manners. All right, getting on to business now.
Right.
It's interesting, and I was excited to have you on after him because you and Alex are probably the two people I know that are the biggest Ricky Norin fans as a wrestler. And a lot of people don't know that about you, but like you're very big on independent wrestling.
Oh, I love it, man. It's especially Minnesota stuff. Like I got more into it because of Ricky and knowing Ricky.
Yeah, because so tell people the history of you and Ricky, because I mean, like people don't understand. Like this dude was supposed to be a stand-up comedian. This dude grinded. He did everything right, like that you would do at that level, and then he just walked away from it. Turns out he was supposed to be a wrestler this whole fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, when I started doing Willie's, Ricky was coming out.
I'm gonna
weekly.
at the end of this episode too, I'm gonna play Ricky Does Minneapolis. I have that tape of him doing all those fucking comics that nobody else will recognize.
Oh, dude, his Brandon Reynoso is fucking so good in that fucking clip. Oh my god, I lost.
So
my
is
shit.
his Dwight York.
Yeah, it's very, very good. No, but he was going out, and a lot of times his set would be, a couple jokes, and then taking requests from the audience for what either local comic to do either just their voice with his jokes.
Like so to me, you missed the vital part, which was like he would go up there with his jokes, and if they didn't go well, he would be like, "Fine, who do you want to hear?" That's how that all started. Like, because he went up there and he was like, "Fine, who do you guys want to hear?" And then somebody said Brandon Reynoso or somebody that he had been working on. And so he did it, and it's like then he just became that guy. Did we lose Tom? I think we lost him. Tom, I don't know why this only happens to you, buddy. I'm sure you can hear me. And you know what? We're having a good day today, Tom, so I'm not even going to talk shit while you're on the phone and can't respond. So hold on. I will call you right back. Yeah, I'm going to actually, hold on. What we're going to do is X this out. This always happens on Facebook. I gotta start doing a Discord channel, but these fucking guests that I have, man, nobody knows how technology works. If I go to a Discord channel, nobody can fucking call in ever again, and it's just fucking, it's real stupid, and it makes me super, super bad. But let's see here. We'll close that down. We will bring this back up. Whoops. There we go. There we go. There we go. Where'd it go? There it goes. You like my screaming? This is actually how I browse the internet. I just scream at it till it works. All right, this will probably work better.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah. I don't know why the fuck it only does that with your phone. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Well, I was thinking about it. My internet's been kind of fucked up lately.
Taxation is theft says, I promise I won't call you a crackhead. My dryer's squeaking. Any advice?
What now? Who said
He
this?
wants tips on fixing his dryer, and he promises to not call you a crackhead.
his dryer is squeaking. That's it. That's all he's got.
Yeah.
It's likely not balanced properly to start, so I would make sure that you get it balanced by tipping up a little bit and making sure you got all the feet set. And
I gotta say, I feel like these are tips a crackhead would know.
Or just a guy who has done real basic maintenance before.
Or smoked rocks out of a dryer.
Jesus. Okay.
I'm just kidding, buddy. Hey, man, loosen up. This is a fun one.
I know.
All right, back to Ricky.
Yeah. So anyhow, he'd also do a lot of wrestlers, like especially like Randy Savage, Ric Flair.
Have you ever heard his Jesse Ventura?
Yes, it's
Dude,
very good.
It's so good.
His Instagram page, at least some of the stories he would post, he's done a lot of Jesse stuff as far as.
It just happened again, didn't it? Ugh. This is my hell, you guys. This is my hell. Let's try to. Tom, I can't hear you. I'm calling you back.
Is this better?
I don't know, man. It's fine till it's not. It's super weird. I feel like it's just mad that I talk to Ricky all the time.
Say again?
So I think it's just mad that we talk to Ricky for so much time.
Maybe there's only a certain amount of time you're allowed on Facebook Messenger for phone calls, and I'm always the one that gets fucked on it.
Yeah. Mikey Two Milk says, "Isn't this where you scream at Gary?" Yeah, if I was at the shack, I would.
Right. No, man, but Ricky's has always been dope. He's legit one of the few guys that's trying to find other avenues for even wrestlers to get involved with, doing some other stuff. Like I showed you had his poster up for his show, the Renaissance Review.
Yep.
Down at Honey. The Referee of the Year Awards, which I got to perform at, which is dope. So I had Super Thunder Frog make fun of me, which is, I think, a career highlight, to be honest with you. That's right up there.
With your career, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly. I'm not saying a comedy career highlight for everybody, but for me, yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
But no, man, there's just a lot of good local wrestling that's going on, and some of the guys that we've seen at like WrestlePalooza or First Wrestling as a whole, Showtime has been really cool.
Tell people why independent wrestling is a better product right now.
You're right there with the wrestlers. I mean, there's really only generally like a walking path around the rings. At WrestlePalooza, you're right up to the ring.
Well, and most of the independent wrestling circuits don't have an out of the ring zone.
Right, and they really, I mean, they hear everything you say. You're part of the actual story that's being told. I mean, one of the guys that he was talking about a lot with Oren Veidt. When I first saw Oren, he was doing like a kind of a gothic Satanist thing in Showtime Championship Wrestling, and so every time during the match, when he would try and rile up the crowd and do a move, and then he'd yell at the crowd, "Who's the man?" And I knew it would piss him off, and I would just go, "Jesus!" Jesus. And that would piss him off, because then he'd just like stare at me, and I'm like, yeah, this is what you get. But the first Showtime I went to was with Claviter, Floorhog, and Wayne Burfine, and Claviter and Josh had brought some signs, and then we were just having a fucking hell of a good time over at the Eagles Club in St. Paul.
Those little, I mean, you know me, I'm a big proponent of indie wrestling. I turned my back on the main product a while ago, and I've never regretted that. I mean, like, I was a big ECW kid, and I really loved Ring of Honor for a second there. Like, they had something really special before AEW started poaching them.
Oh, absolutely. And then actually, Herb Brown posted over the weekend as far as like some old like wrestling clips.
Savage Dragon D said, "I've always thought independent circuit was better, but I was a huge ECW and Ring of Honor fan." Yeah, you're not wrong. Those were great. Like right now, I think NWA Power and AEW are the best products right now.
Yeah. Because AEW's at least still running. I don't think NWA is. ROH is.
NWA is now. They're doing it with like even less people. Because Georgia was one of the states that reopened.
Right. But and I know ROH has put a hold on all their shows just because they were doing a lot of New York stuff.
What a dork.
Or upper or mid Atlantic and up kind of stuff. So they kind of just put it on hold. But no, I mean honestly, it's so much fun to go to these shows and engage. I mean, obviously you and I went to WrestlePalooza, and during one of the tag matches with this tag team called the North, they're based out of Toronto, and I'm just yelling "fuck the North," and then literally they both kind of look at me and then hold the ropes and invite me in. I'm like, no, I'm good, guys. I was just fucking around, and then you get to talk to these guys afterwards, and they're just they're regular chilled people for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that was like the whole thing. Like I went and got some T-shirts, and like Airwolf was there, just like selling his own T-shirt.
I'm not a huge Airwolf fan. I know I'm in the minority as far as local fans go and stuff like that, but I'm just not a huge Airwolf kind of fan and stuff.
Why do you hate him so much?
I don't want to divulge the reason because I know that it would piss some people off as far as me throwing this out there and not saying things more publicly, but it's something I've seen with him, and I just don't care to discuss it on anywhere really other than.
Well, there's only 15 viewers. What are you talking about?
Nah, man, I'll save it for a different time.
Jeez. Well, I'm gonna fucking text you, and you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, I'll tell you in private, and if you want to release that information, that's on you. But since I've seen
here, you know what? Hold on. I have this video here. Let me let you go. I have this video that I can play real quick. All right.
Hang up on me.
Hey, Tom, it's just me this time. Tell me what's wrong with Airwolf.
You moron.
What, dude? No, there's no way that you're live on Twitch right now. Tell me all about Airwolf.
From time to time.
Then why is my picture still up on Twitch?
It's a video thing I'm doing.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no. I'll
So it's called Fiesta Day. We're not on the air.
Again, it's something I'm not going to share because it's something that.
All right. Well, whatever. I was just being funny, but yeah, like fucking, I get it. Like it's fine. Nobody cares.
Right.
But so yeah, so you hate him for personal reasons that you're not going to talk about.
Right. But also, like, I mean, there's just a lot of cool dudes. One of the guys that Ricky mentioned, Riley Jackson. Honestly, like, as far as guys coming up, like Ricky's insane. Like, he'll do.
Tom doesn't like him because he banged the ugly burlesque chick. Tom wanted her. I think they're talking about Donna Delick.
Yeah. No, like Ricky tells a great
Mikey
story,
Tubelk
like,
says a Donna Delick love triangle.
Gross. Anyhow, Ricky tells a great story. Like he's willing to do pretty much whatever is asked of him as far as put his body on the line and all that sort of stuff. But Riley Jackson tells an amazing story. Another guy, local guy, JDX, that everybody should be paying attention to.
JDX is awesome.
Story. Yeah. I mean, those guys are both like really athletic and stuff. But dude, and you always see me with my firm shirt on, but it's because I love that group, man. Like it was super dope. They were expanding it, and then ESQ was retiring, and basically just kind of didn't fall apart. It just happened to be like everybody had different things. They weren't necessarily all going to be working with, and it was only with Showtime.
Sure.
Championship Wrestling. So a lot of times you can't use the same promotion stuff from one promotion into another thing. You can't use a lot of the same merch or anything like that. So
yeah, kind of like how they lock down the characters and shit. Like in WWE, those people can't use those same names when they go somewhere else.
Right. So like even though Ricky and Bill Williams are a tag team in MAW and they were the first tag team champions over there, they can't use that tag team anywhere else, even though people locally would know the Renaissance Revolution,
Right.
But I mean, honestly, dude, like Ricky's doing some awesome stuff. Like I just encourage anybody who's actually listening to go out and find a show, man. Like when we get back into business for everything, like entertainment wise, go find a show, man. Like the Eagles Club in St. Paul or Mouse Theater has some MAW shows. I mean, Ricky didn't cover it, but apparently there's every once in a while some beef between promotions and shit. But I went to an MAW and Steel Domains Supercard over at Neeson's in Savage. That was fucking unbelievable. Our buddy Devin Cook is also a wrestler. He goes by Jerry Allricher, which is super fun to watch him do his kind of weird, happy-go-lucky, like over-the-top kind of gimmick for that and stuff. But yeah, man, it's just a lot of fun to kind of just lose yourself for the hour and a half, 2 hours, plus depending, in what the people are doing. I mean, it's crazy cool performance art, really.
Do you think because you have so many things to run away from, you like it more?
I don't have many things to run away from, man.
What's your favorite indie circuit to go to when you're high on crack?
I don't go anywhere when I'm high on crack. It's for my preservation and everybody else.
Yeah. Everybody
I'm
knows
trying to be
crack use 101. When you're on crack, don't go anywhere because then you just got to share your crack.
Yeah, I'm also trying to be a responsible crackhead, okay? I know that sounds weird to everybody, but, there's a couple of us out there. We're more in for our own entertainment value.
Apology
we are for sharing,
accepted.
or just be out in public with it, man.
You're so brave, Tom.
Oh, yeah, I'm super brave. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're real brave.
My man.
No, man, but Ricky was a good guest, man. Like, he's got those stories, man, and he's obviously just going to gain more and more and stuff. But no, and also, if people will get a chance, he does actually. I think it's pretty much either quarterly or at least twice a year at the Minsky Theater. He'll run a Sunday night show, live pro wrestling over there. It's been super awesome. Like, he's had some great matches, some tag team stuff here and there. They did there's supposed to be a no laws when holding a claws match. So if you had a White Claw in hand or were drinking a White Claw, you could do whatever the fuck you wanted. And then Minsky Theater doesn't have rights to sell White Claw, but there's a local brand, and I don't remember which one it was, Bolo or something.
Sure.
So they changed the gimmick for it or whatever, but basically it's the same thing where if you're holding on to one of these things, you can do whatever the hell you want. So hit somebody with a chair or put them through a table and all. So it's just a lot of fun. And, you got a bigger venue, so you can do some, top rope stuff and some other interesting spots. And, yeah, man, I mean, seriously, I'm just getting gassed, like, just fucking talking about it, man. It takes, like, a lot out of you, man. You leave one of these shows and, it's super fucking hot in these venues and stuff, so you're sweating your ass off like you went to a concert and shit like that. But, yeah, you go home and then fucking I'm out in like fucking 20 minutes after I walk through the door, like take a shower and fucking
Just
hit the
that
bed
exhausted.
and I'm done. Oh, dude.
Mikey Two Milk says,
Takes
another
some
great
time.
guest, Corey. What's his name?
Right. I mean, that's why, too, like you and me hanging out afterwards, after WrestlePalooza, man, like I was fucking out when we got over to your buddy's house. Like I was done.
Yeah, you were in no shape for sure. I will.
Mm-hmm.
I can vouch for that. That's still my favorite like instance ever where they had some of the worst cocaine I've ever seen in my life, and they're like, oh, does he want some? And I'm like, Tom does, because they kept calling you a cop. Remember that? My friend, so here's the fun thing about Tom, and this has happened to me more than once with Tom. I will show up at a party, I will bring Tom. Everybody's like, hey, Corey, good to see you. Why did you bring the police officer? Everybody thinks Tom's a fucking cop.
Yeah, it's true.
You were starting to get pissed, too. You're like, I'm not a fucking cop. And then they had, like, the worst cocaine I've ever had. They're like, you have to do this cocaine, and Tom's never done cocaine. And I'm like, no, you're not starting with this. And then they're like, then he's a cop. I'm like, fuck you guys.
Also, too, like I was so fucking. I mean, we had smoked earlier, but I was
had my
fucking
pens in the venue.
Yeah. I mean, we were. Oh god, dude, it was fucking so nuts, man.
That was the night I first saw Man Scout, and that shit changed my life. Tent. Read that book. Really read that book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, everybody's super fucking awesome though. Like local wrestling and like some of those guys now. Like I see them at these shows and whatever, man, I'll just go up like during the intermissions or whatever. We'll just talk shit like the system. This guy Drew, he's fucking dope. So me and him always like fucking end up talking because again during Ricky's show, the Renaissance Review, we ended up doing like a little spot where he interrupted my set because I said something about like the system. So then he just took it as like his intro. Then
Sure.
He came
Mikey
out and
Two Milks
interrupted me.
says gingers have low stamina. It's a genetic flaw.
That's not. That might be
Taxes
true.
Theft wants to know, would Tom rather be called a cop or a crackhead?
Have I ever shared the biker story?
No, but
from
you're
Pops?
about to now.
So when I started driving like sober cab out of Povs with the guy who was running it, there was another guy who started at the same time working with him. That was also a police officer at the state fair grounds. And oh no, I think I did share this, didn't I? Yeah, this
I
is
don't know if you did or not. Just fucking tell it again, man. There's people here that haven't seen you before. Crackhead.
All right. Well, the bar I used to work at, the Femadons, it was their bar, and so when I started doing the sober cab stuff, it was about the same time as I started working at the bar. So they actually assumed that me being a bouncer and doing the sober cab ride home and working at that bar specifically, that actually I was an undercover police officer.
Yeah.
And so I basically had to like tell it all with them, like exactly what was going on, like why I was there, and the fact that I worked at or had gone to the other Povs, the one that used to be in Andover all the time. And so everybody that came down to the new Povs or the combined location there in Spring Lake Park, they all knew me still, so that's why I kind of just started working there, and it wasn't like it was a big deal. So they're like, "Well, you still kind of look like a cop." I go, "I've heard it. I know what you're talking about. I've heard it. So yeah, I've heard all that shit." And then when you have to explain yourself that you're not an undercover police officer to fucking biker gangs, it's
Yeah, there's no way that's not ending in a fight.
Yeah, no, it basically involved me buying a couple rounds of beer and then making sure they all got home safely and shit too. So it was a pretty big tab on my part to make sure that they were aware that I was not a cop. Which I guess buying beers for bikers and then, I guess that is more like a undercover cop kind of thing to do. But whatever, man. I'm not a cop. I don't make enough money.
I feel like that's something a cop would say. Taxes Theft says, now you can't leave. Yeah, Bronx Tale.
I guess. Now I can't leave? I don't know what that is.
It's a scene in Bronx Tale. You've never seen Bronx Tale?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, do you like mob movies?
You know what? I generally don't like search them out or anything like that, but I'll check it out.
Apology accepted.
Who's Missed Willies, by the way? Who's that person?
I'm pretty sure that's Margaret.
No.
Yeah, because she was saying about how this was. She was talking about how this was like a Willie's Anonymous meeting like 2 days ago, and then she's been in here every single night, but she's not in here, and then the account was created yesterday. I'm 99% sure that is Margaret.
No, it's Ryan.
Ryan?
Yeah, you remember Ryan from Willie's?
Which Ryan?
Fuck yeah, dude. You remember Ryan?
There's so many Ryans. What the fuck do you want from me?
I don't remember Ryan's last name. I'm sorry, Ryan, but he
Not called.
he always sat. No, fuck that, right?
Like an audience member?
Yeah. God, what? Well, don't put. Oh yeah. Yeah, Men's Hall.
Oh shit! No shit. Yeah. Back tattoo Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him. What the fuck, Ryan? What's up, buddy? Well, now I feel better about talking all that shit about Margaret. Because I was worried.
She might call you after the show.
No, I'm not dumb enough to answer. That's a you problem, bro.
Whatever, man. But anyhow, man, yeah, dude. Also, too, I guess one of the guys who runs a promotion in town, Pro AWF, Tony DiNucci, they actually brought their wrestling to Povs in Spring Lake Park there when they had their big tent party. But the last year they actually did not get a huge tent. They only got a stage tent. So they had the wrestling outside in the elements, and then ended up raining halfway through the event, and it totally washed out his brand new red canvas for the fucking ring. So you just have all this red dye going all the way over the fucking parking lot and shit too. It's fucking miserable. All these guys are fucking changing in the bar area and shit too. It's gross.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Ryan, why aren't you on Facebook anymore? What happened? Sunday and Monday, I'll watch your show on Twitch. Since my day is off, the other days I'll watch on YouTube. Yeah, you can watch them. Like, if you subscribe, you can watch them on here and watch the backed videos as well. But yeah, you can go to YouTube and watch them too. Corey Adam Comedy. Also, don't forget to go to Venmo or PayPal. Every bit you give helps, and make sure that I have rent and bill money, which I desperately need. I'm getting, you know what's scaring me, Tom? I'm getting better at pandering.
Are you getting? Wait, hold on. With your crowd work, you're bad at pandering before.
Like, I wasn't bad at it. I just wouldn't do it. I've never been a big pandering guy. I don't like pandering when I'm on stage. I like to abuse the audience. If they like it, that's on them. If they don't, fuck them. I don't care.
Right.
And like this whole like, hey buddy, blah 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 blah. Ryan says I haven't been on Facebook in 7 years. I was sick of Facebook drama. Yeah, that's fucking crazy to me though.
Yeah.
7 fucking years? No, it can't be that. How long has Willie's been gone?
Not 7 years, but he was
gone before that though, because his work shift changed.
Yeah. It hasn't been 7 years though, because Ryan and I were friends on there before he got off. I don't know, like 5 or 6 years probably.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's definitely a long time though, man, because I hadn't seen him in a while. I was like, damn, dude, like, what happened? But, and see, that's the sad thing, man. Like, yeah, Ryan, man, like, we missed having you at shows and stuff, dude. But I normally promote shows through Facebook because it's just easier. All the fans are
you're never gonna find another show, bro. Come on.
Yeah, like Twitter is really hard to get fucking people to see your show posted.
Twitter's a garbage pile. Twitter is like a judgmental Reddit. Like, nobody cares.
Right.
Facebook is still entertaining because I don't know what it is, but people still care about it. There's this like base level of caring where people think Facebook is fucking, whatever. I don't live in Coon Rapids anymore. I moved 4 years ago. Oh, all right. Where do you live now? Welcome to the Ryan interview show, I guess.
Yeah, don't answer him, Ryan. No. Don't let these miscreants know where you live. Never tell them your secrets.
What's Tom's cell phone number? Damn, you're in Faribault? Fuck, dude, that's quite the move.
Actually, there's some good shows that Nathan Smensrud has been doing down there in Faribault. By the way, Ryan, I wasn't calling you miscreants.
Ryan said, "Fuck off, Tom."
Yeah, I was calling the other people in the chat miscreants, not you, man. But fair enough, though. I do deserve that every fucking time.
Yeah, you fucking do.
Well, no, yeah, but Ryan, if you're around and want to watch some comedy, man, and stuff, I'll make sure I try and hit you up or whatever. Oh shit! I don't know how.
Yeah, you mean when comedy like you have the magic fucking ticket to restart comedy? Get fucked, Tom.
No, I'm just saying when it does and stuff like that. Have you done one of these?
You're just saying when it does now because I called you out. You're like, hey Ryan, you want to go see a comedy show? You hit up old Papa Tom. I run this town.
I don't run this town. Yeah. I barely work this fucking town.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah. Have you ever done one of Nathan's shows down there?
Yeah. Mikey Two Milk says, this Tom sucks. Next caller.
Fuck you, Mikey. Dickhead.
Get him.
No, Mikey's
Ryan says,
fine.
I still go to Coon Rapids. My dad still lives there.
Oh.
Hold on. Cool. I got a sweet sound effect for that.
Is that the one?
Yeah, that's what I used. And then I also put in the Disney Goofy, the Wahoo-wee. It's like a clip of Goofy falling off this cliff that has been used in almost every Disney movie ever.
Yeah, it's the fucking best though.
Yeah, it's like the falling. I'm really starting to enjoy the sound files that I have. Like, I've been looking down at my soundboard, and, like, there's a bunch of them that I have to take off. But, I mean, like, we got some pretty good... Like, I think the thing that really tied it together was the Apology Accepted by Randy Savage.
Apology accepted.
Apology accepted.
From time to time.
And from time to time.
What a dork.
Yeah.
It's like, had to do some Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. when you have Ricky back on again, make sure you ask him what his favorite promo is of all time. Because if he was a Jake the Snake guy and stuff, Jake had some great promos. Randy obviously had some great promos. But Lord knows if anybody could actually understand an Ultimate Warrior promo, fuck, those are the fucking best.
Dude, I got it.
Just
They're
go back
just like
there
this.
and
This is
watch.
an Ultimate Warrior one. You ready?
Yeah.
You got to watch it. It's a visual aid though, so I'll wait 30 seconds for your reaction. You ready?
Okay.
Can you see me backing up? This is my impression of an Ultimate Warrior promo. That's it. That's all it is.
My impression of his promos. Because he'd always snarl like a fucking maniac, and then he'd just start talking about other than warriors, all over the world. They come to
I
me.
guess that guy was a super big dick too.
Yeah, because he didn't sell for anybody. And Ricky's story about like Animal and D'Lo and stuff like that, like that's the whole thing. Like those guys who have been in the business, made a name for themselves, and then do these indie shows, they're all going to get put over themselves because that's why people are going there.
Savage Dragon D
But,
says, "Watch your fucking language." Corey has some young listeners.
Is he saying that to you or to me?
I think you. I don't know. I say fuck more than you do.
Well, yeah, but there should be a comment.
Ryan
Watch
says,
your
"My
language."
back tattoo is done. My chest tattoo, 2 right arm, 1 left arm, 1 on each leg."
Nice.
He had like that dope ass back tattoo, man. I miss Ryan. Ryan was like a fucking faithful Willie's Ite, dude. That dude was there all the time. He sat up front and he fucking laughed the entire show, dude. He was rad.
Yeah, he was dope to have around, man. Like at least to have anybody in the audience on a Sunday in Coon Rapids that wasn't being a dick to somebody on the stage, man. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Ryan could easily throw it back at us if we ever decided to go at him and stuff like that. So, but he was too cool to have any beef with, man.
Wait, actually, here I'm gonna show Ryan something that I bet he's never seen. A vagina. Just kidding. All right. Check this out, Ryan. This one's for you, right? I'm standing up. I don't think you've seen this, but I actually got the Willie's logo tattooed on my arm.
Oh, you probably wouldn't have.
There you go. Yeah, I did that on the last night. I got that the day before the last night of Willie's.
That was a tough night, man.
Adam Swart. Yeah. Oh, who are you telling, man? I ended up crying in a mop closet.
Yeah, I know, because I was back there.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was. They wanted to see fucking Corey show human emotions.
No, that's why I was trying to keep them all away, these fucking vultures.
I was fine. I just needed to let it out. It was weird. It was a weird moment with Willie's when it closed because it was like that last show, like I just wanted that last show to go off without a hitch, you know? So I just like, it was all the planning and everything put together. And then the moment it was over, it was like, oh, all right, I'm done. Better just go into this mop closet and cry.
Yeah, there was a lot of work that went onto
that last show. I mean, the last show was basically the template of what would become these annual ones.
Right. But
Which also, I wanted to talk to you about it. We should probably just do a virtual one this year.
Ooh. Maybe.
Right? Why not?
I mean, that's not a bad idea and stuff, but that's man, I don't know.
Taxes theft. Sounds like Willie's was spot, y'all. Yeah, Willie's was it was a very important room in Minneapolis. It was a really shitty dive bar in Coon Rapids, and they had 4 different hosts. I was the last one, and I had it for, 5 or 6 years probably?
Yeah, as long as I was.
And then
From
Daryl.
the time I started till, it was about 5 years, 5.5.
I thought you started when Daryl was still hosting it.
No, I literally started that very first night of the very first Funniest Person in Coon Rapids because I asked you if I could somehow still get in on it. We had never fucking met, and you just look at me like, no. Like, you were going to tell me fuck no. Like, I'm like, okay. All right. You were somehow polite when I first met you. I don't know what the fuck happened to you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Yeah,
Sounds like a fake story, fake memory.
Yeah. Fake memory, bro. No, man. Willie's was one of those places.
Ryan says Willie's went under, but the new owner brought it back before the SARS shit. Yeah, Leonard's, and that guy does not want live entertainment. He is adamant about that. Yeah, it was like a dive bar, man, and it was a dick joke dojo, man. Like, it was not an easy room, but it was fair, and you got better by doing it.
Yeah.
It's like a live-action Muppet show almost.
Right. I mean, because you and I have obviously talked multiple times about the fact that if people weren't going to Willie's or Grumpy's or both, they were missing out. Because there's a lot of people who avoided both of those because it wasn't, quote unquote easy. So why the fuck would you want to go to those? And then also I had this conversation with Kelly, like the workshop at Joke Joint sucked for a long, long time. It's pretty much always sucked as far as doing workshops there because you had too many new people giving advice.
Ryan
like
said, I remember when Tom headlined at Willie's.
Yeah. It was
Ryan, do you remember his sweet comedy troupe of Gladys? Him and Sandy would combine to form Gladys.
Oh, you're such a dick.
What? He was there. He saw it.
I know, but I mean, every fucking time I'm on now, you got to bring up her. Or... Come on.
He's talking about you performing at Willie's. I didn't do that.
Right. Well, anyhow.
He also said yeah, so he remembers it. So get fucked, Tom. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. No, man, but like workshops are always bad and stuff. But the one thing that people always forget about workshops, and the same thing, like even working on your jokes, like, yeah, people treat them as though they're babies, and that's the problem. Is because, oh well, my baby is my baby. I don't want you to hurt or say bad things about my baby. No, like your baby needs to learn and grow and get better. And a lot of people don't want to put the work in, like even like small stupid.
Ryan says, I remember when Tom forgot his own jokes. That was hilarious.
I was probably pretty fucking hammered that night.
Wait, we drank at Willie's? Fake news. Hold on. Wait, I've even got a drop for that.
You are fake news.
There you go.
See, and that's the thing, too. When I started going to Willie's, I was living in Blaine. And then I moved to Andover, so I actually moved closer to Willie's. And I basically got more and more drunk as Sundays went on.
Oh, man, I still to this day, I just don't understand mathematically how I did not get a DUI during Willie's.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was driving from Coon Rapids to Hopkins, tanked out of my ass, sometimes filming Periscope videos while I ordered Taco Bell. I'm not bragging, and I'm not saying these are good decisions. I'm just telling you what happened.
I can't believe you made it all the way to fucking Hopkins just to order Taco Bell there. I mean, Jesus. Most people get way earlier in the night. That was
Savage Dragon D said, "Isn't Willie's where Margaret won that comedy award over Tom?"
No, it wasn't. And don't be a dick, Savage Dragon D.
Woo, Tom's. You know what I like about this is I heard you gulp what I can only assume is an alcoholic beverage as you get sassier and sassier.
It was the fourth beer that I've had.
Oh, shit. Tom's getting loose. Now better watch out. Better not be mean to him. His inner crackhead is going to come out. That's what the alcoholic Tom's for.
Right. No, that was just the end of it.
Ryan said, Corey's an awesome guy. On my B-Day, I had a tab of $75. Corey asked Carrie what my tab was and then said, put it on my tab.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, funny thing about that, and I did that, like, absolutely, Ryan. You supported the room, and I was very happy to do that for you. I got belittled for doing that. I got told when they were canceling Willie's that they couldn't afford to pay me anymore, and I explained to them that I was paying in the regulars and that almost all that money got spent at the venue again, and I got told by Bill's mom, it's not her fault that I don't know how to manage my money. That's when I knew they were fucked.
Right. You're putting the money right back into the bar.
Right. Like everybody, I got paid $200 a week, which was a lot, but I've never, first off, I paid you.
Yep.
I paid you a bunch. Also, Missed Willie's used his highlighting thing to say that Sandy's a cunt. You know what? We're going to allow that. There you go. I allowed the word cunt. I am a fair moderator. And I added it permanent.
Well, thank you.
We're not a terrorist regime. We can do whatever we want. We're definitely not
Thailand.
There we go. It said Thailand.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I can't say
dork.
those words because I'm afraid of getting canceled for some fucking reason by just speaking my opinion, or if you will.
Why are
the
you
truth.
afraid of getting canceled, Tom? You have to be picked up as a show to get canceled.
Well, that's not true. Well, I don't know. I don't know what fucking truth is anymore as far as all that shit goes. So, who the fuck am I to say? I'm just trying to make it 10 years, man, in comedy. If I make it 10 years, then that's when I heard all the good shit happens.
Texas theft. Yeah, you can just download Venmo, or if you have PayPal, that works too. Every little bit you give helps and goes directly to the Corey College Fund. Spoiler alert, I'm going to drop out and spend that money on bills. What up?
Yeah, and it's at Corey Adam Comedy.
Oh, look at you. Look at you, baby. Fuck yeah.
I know.
You're getting a skull horn for that. Here, you have an air horn.
Hooray.
Yeah, you're pretty excited, right?
Nice. Yeah, I'm very excited, man. If I get some skull horns, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, there's kids listening, so frick yeah, man.
Who are these kids that are listening?
I don't know. Somebody was saying that shit. Who was saying it earlier?
Yeah, who knows?
But
We've come
yeah,
a
man.
long way.
Yeah, we sure have. Long way here. No, man. Ricky was a great guest, though, man. It's a smart decision. You know, do some cross promotion, and that was the thing. I don't know if you saw my comment or not, but whenever we bring back Atlas of Comedy, I mean, obviously, it has to be sometime in the future after all this shit's done with and stuff. But
Well, Tom, I didn't know how to break this to you, so I guess I should just do it now. Me and Ricky have been talking, and Atlas of Comedy is back.
oh,
But it's just
Sweet.
all Airwolf.
ooh. Well, I know I can verbally win because he doesn't say anything, so
Apology accepted.
I got this.
Now, if you want to, I don't know, perhaps issue a grievance of why I shouldn't have him here publicly in this forum, I will listen to it.
If
Oh, that was close. You know what? Don't do that. I'm not gonna get you in trouble, buddy.
I was actually gonna say, like, if people started just like bringing in fucking bits to you and stuff like that, like crazy, like that one time you went completely fucking nuts.
Yeah, that hype train. How crazy was that?
Yeah, like if people started bringing in like that and stuff, I'd probably consider it. I mean, we got to start somehow, right? I mean, how many people are on right now? 15 still? 20?
14.
14 people.
Here's
so
the funny thing about
all
the
14
wrestling. Here's the funny thing about the wrestling, right? And this is, I notice this every time we do this shit, right? Whenever
Right.
we talk wrestling, the numbers always go down, but the numbers of people that stay in are like all the regulars. Like,
Yeah.
we have a. It's kind of like Willie's actually. It reminds me of Willie's. Oh, Mikey Two Milks is piling on the bits right now.
He wants to hear.
He wants that info bad. Promote that shit. He's like, look at him. He's going nuts. I'll tell you this too. Mikey does not give even one bit lightly, so this is a very strong showing from him. Ryan says, Tom, good comics have merchandise. If you had merchandise, I would have bought merchandise.
That's also why you said good comics. I gotta say that before Corey can get a chance to say it. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
I like how I browbeat you to the point where you just throw in your own insults. It's just autopilot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like what, 2 weeks ago or whatever, you rang me up and belittled me for not having merch.
Yeah, that's true. I did do that.
Yeah. So
Notice how you always bring that up, but you never mention the crack because you know it's true.
I don't bring up the crack because it's not true, and because I don't smoke crack. But you guys don't want to listen to that shit. You guys just want to make sure everybody here knows, like, Tom does crack. Everybody knows.
Mikey Two Milk says, this isn't for Tom. I just like the pretty guitar music. It's true. I do like this new format, and we might go back to the old one, but like it's so funny on these fucking templates because you grab a sound, and then it's like the sounds and the alerts don't match. Like it's called an alert. Who has ever been alerted by soft rock?
No one. That's why you don't hear it as part of, like,
Mikey
the
said
alarm
my
setting.
Spotify expired, so this is the closest I can get.
Yeah, with
Hey,
all
Mikey,
these bits that he's throwing at you.
Mikey, donate Freebird. Play Freebird with your donations. Go.
It's not that good, soft rock.
Oh, Willie's. I fucking miss that place. I still laugh at the fact that I was crying in that mop closet.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like how many people like wanted to try and like get weird pictures of it. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, blackmail Corey and stuff? I mean, it's a room that he ran. I mean, how you had that room for how long? 5-6 years?
You're not going to blackmail me out of crying. Like, here's the thing about crying. Like, for me, right? I'm not ashamed of it. I just don't do it often. It's just
Right.
I was one of those kids that was raised like dudes don't cry. And I'm not saying
Right.
it's healthy, and I'm not saying it's any of this. It's just how I was raised. But if something
Uh-huh.
hits me to the point where I do cry, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of crying in a mop closet in a Coon Rapids bar. And I didn't think that that would ever be a sentence that I could say honestly.
Right. By the way, Savage Dragon, I don't think she has merch. I think she just has the fan page, which is different,
She
obviously.
took it down. She doesn't even promote it anymore because I guess it was like a conflict of interest with her son or something.
Yeah.
Which when
whatever.
she told me that, I was just trying to bite my tongue and make the like, what, he wants to be a burlesque dancer too? Like, I don't think you're using conflict. I don't think you're using conflict of interest right in that sentence. I can't be a burlesque dancer because there's a conflict of interest with my adolescent child.
Oh, God damn it. That shouldn't be that funny, but that's fucking very, very clever, Corey. Very clever.
But it's fucking true.
Right.
Like, it's not even like I'm not saying it's not clever. It's good. That's fine. But it's fucking true. Mikey is still donating bits by bits. He's trying to drive me slowly insane with this guitar music, and I am just kind of upset because it may be kind of working. Don't you laugh at that, Tom. You're supposed to be on my side.
I am on your side. That's why I was saying give some bits to the show. He's giving a lot. I feel like I should just give I feel like you should kick everybody out. I'll to give.
Oh my
you
God,
and
Mikey! Mikey, I'm
the
gonna turn off the sound. I swear to God.
Don't do it, man. He's just trying to have some fun. He's
Fuck you,
trying to
Tom.
play
Don't
the
you take
guitar.
his side on this?
He's just virtually strumming the guitar, man. Let him do his thing. Okay?
Whatever. So now I have to just give out charity to everybody that can't afford a Spotify subscription. Mikey just said I like Tom.
Yeah,
You know what
of
I like?
course,
You know what
Bill.
I like? You know what I like the most about Mikey? He's very fluid with his alliances.
Yeah.
Like he'll
I
be
mean,
in your
it's still-
corner one day, and the next day he'll just be like, "Nah, fuck you."
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure he came in here right away and goes, "Is
What a
Crackhead Tom
dork.
here?" Like, I think that's the first thing he said when he got on, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Now taxes theft is on your side. Fuck you guys. Don't take his side in this. You guys, you're not
What?
even on
What's-
Tom's side. You just want to watch me go crazy.
Yeah, we all want to see you go crazy, man. That's part
Why?
of the bit.
Why? I have done nothing to deserve this, Tom.
You've done nothing,
To deserve this.
really,
Yeah, I should command respect.
from fucking who?
Everybody.
I'm not some fucking follower and stuff.
Yes, you
I
are,
do whatever the
Tom.
fuck I want. No, we're friends, Corey, and stuff like that. If I wanted out of the
Are you
friendship
saying?
and stuff,
Are
I'd
you
leave
saying?
anything the fuck
Are
I
you
want.
saying acolyte wrong?
I think you meant to say disciple, and either
No, I would never say
either way,
disciple. I
I'm-
would say apostle. I would say you're a Corey Adam acolyte.
Oof, maybe I suppose. I guess that's not too far. off, but-
Taxes Steph said, Corey, how much crack have you smoked? Fuck you. We're not talking about that. We're talking to Tom the crackhead. Mikey, stop me with the fucking guitars.
See, here's the thing. If your show takes off and I gotta make merch where it's Tom the Crackhead, I'll fucking do that merch as long as
Oh, I know.
the show takes off.
I see. Here's what I'm thinking, right? You ever see Metalocalypse?
Yeah.
You dressed up like Roxo the Clown, and it just says, I do crack.
Oh, God.
Mikey says, these bits make good bed music. Taxes Theft says, Corey the cracker. Get fucked. Tom, stop enjoying this so much.
I really can't stop enjoying this. It's just so much fun for me.
Taxes Theft also said, Tom, you are a fucking crackhead, dude.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Like, sure, just keep making fun of Corey.
oh, absolutely. Go to town on Corey.
I'll be whatever you want. Just keep victimizing my friend.
Yeah. I mean, you've allowed them to do it to me, so I don't understand why you would think I'm not trying to weaponize your fans against you. I want Tom to be my dad. Fuck it, Mikey. That's awesome.
This is pretty good.
Oh my
Corey,
God.
do you remember that time when Tom is on stage and I yelled light? Then Tom said, that's not fair. And you said, I don't care. Get the fuck off stage. I don't remember that, but that does sound like me. God, I miss yelling light at people, man. I fucking miss it. It was my favorite. Shout out to Mandy Weeks who made me create that, but fuck, so good.
I really wish every once in a while you just have like a Willie's night at Sisyphus where you just.
Yeah, we can't though.
I mean,
like
you really can't.
Willie's is too rough and tumble for that place.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's too chaotic.
Literally, it would go down like this, Tom. I would have a Willie's at Sisyphus, and then we would never have Sisyphus again. That's what would happen.
Yeah, that's true. None of those people would come back after that. That's why,
if I thought the venue was better for it, like Atlas would already be over there. Willie's would already be over there.
Right. Also, too, like that's why when you even had it at the Red Menace mic, and all the people who started, they had never done a Willie's, they'd never seen Willie's, and all of a sudden you yell light. Like, how many people got fucking almost crapped their pants, fucking anxious about you saying that?
Well, and I used to one up that. I used to go up to the fucking people watching at the show, and I would stand right behind them and scream it.
Yeah.
Like I would walk up to a table that didn't even know I was there, and just be like, "Light."
Yeah.
Because that's
fantastic.
That's how Daddy rolls, baby.
Right. That's fantastic.
Not as fantastic as you turning turncoat and throwing me under the bus at the earliest possible time you heard acoustic riffs, you piece of shit.
Well, hey, man. I dig me some slow jams, man.
Apology.
I mean, not all
accepted.
the time, but every once in a while I'll get down with some slow jams.
Yeah, I bet. You look like somebody that does a lot of slow jams with a lot of tears.
Actually, with that picture you showed me, so I look like the kind of guy who'd go to a Sear concert and just act like security, like, "Hey, you, stop having so much fun."
You look like somebody that's a roadie for Puddle of Mud.
Yeah, that's
he
probably
fucking
that's
smokes crack. Yeah. His name is Tom. That's Puddle of Mud, right?
So I think yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm actually excited.
Job.
I'm actually excited that I didn't know who that was. Tax and Steph says, Corey, serious question. Do you sell the crack for Tom? Well, I don't really sell it per se. It's more of like a barter for sexual favors thing.
Hey,
pretty
man.
Fun. What?
You too far, man.
Why?
Too many secrets divulged.
Why?
You can't say that, man. You're giving away too many secrets there.
What do you care? You're a man that you don't have secrets worth keeping or whatever they say.
I'm a man of principle, damn it. Okay.
No, you're not. No, you are fucking not.
Well, I mean, for the right price, I'm not. But
Apology accepted.
You haven't really reached that price, so.
Oh, I see. So we just have to give you more money for anal. Good to know, you fucking whore.
Yeah. Dude, if people need to be more horrible in this lifetime, okay? I mean, a lot more things can be done with just a little bit of...
This is a weird Tom heel turn. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, I've said for a long time that I'm a very horrible person. I'll do a lot of different things if the money's right, okay?
What's the most horrible thing you've ever done, Tom?
I mean,
go to church on a Sunday, you prick?
No, I mean, I haven't done anything terrible, but no one's given me the right money for it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I do have people who owe me money that I just got to get some address and so that I'll probably go over and break some fucking legs, but that would be me doing the horrible thing for my own fucking money back. So
Mikey Two Milk says he looks like a bouncer at Carrot Top Show. He calls his group Red Squad.
God damn it, Mikey. That's a good one.
Mikey, well, he is a fucking turncoat, and I'm not very happy at him today. Like, only Mikey could figure out how to weaponize generosity.
Yeah, but when you have mentioned before that you generally go insane with that kind of stuff, where it's just the steady stream of stuff, And I'm sure there's even some other people who are watching and listening to the show that probably get a little perturbed when all that stuff is playing over the top of the music.
He gave like 46 bits, one at a time.
Yeah, because he's the smartest fucking antagonist around, man. He knows how to get
Mikey
you.
Two Milk says, you love me, Corey. I am controlled chaos. Texas Steph said, I got a hand job in a church pew once. No, you didn't. Also, if you did, you're stupid. I fucked a chick in a church once. Why didn't you grow up and actually have sex? I actually fucked her on the altar. Am I going to hell for that?
I don't know. Probably.
It was during
Now,
a
here's the
lock-in.
thing.
It's really funny
Yeah.
because they called it a lock-in, but I still pulled out.
Yeah. Well, they called it. I think everybody went to a lock-in when they were younger and stuff, and some of those were just a bad idea waiting to happen.
I don't think you heard me, Tom. I said I went to a lock-in and pulled out.
No, I got what you said. It wasn't like it was. It wasn't your most clever joke, but I'll give you some credit. It was
Thank
well.
you. Thank
It
you.
was well timed.
That's all I ask. Just take note, learn your lesson.
Okay, fucker. I'll take my lessons. I mean, I didn't have my notebook. Do you want to make sure you text that to me to make sure I write that down?
No, nobody's texting you, Tom.
No one's texting me?
You're very alone. This is actually the sound effect is my impression of your DM inbox.
Yeah, okay. You're very clever, Corey.
Oh, I know. God damn it, Mikey! I saw that. Shut the fuck up, Tom.
I'm not gonna shut the fuck up, man.
Oh God,
it's way too fun for me.
Ugh.
Every time you go insane
here's
about
the thing,
the fact that
Tom.
someone's giving you bits.
I would block him if I could afford to.
Yeah, I know.
But now it's bit by bit. Like, at first I could just be like, oh, 1 bit, fuck you, Mikey. But he does them in fucking chains. And he knows I need it. Oh, he's doing it again! Shut up, Tom.
Rusty Grammar, what does that fucking line of emoticons fucking mean?
That's my head with some tentacles and a ref saying it's good. Oh, fuck you, Mikey. So he goes cheer 1,000 and 5,000, but he's not actually cheering them? Tax and stuff says, I mean, it was a great hand job.
Yeah.
DJ 2x is asleep at the wheel. I'll get on that. Don't do it. Look at him just typing in these cheer amounts that mean something, and then he's just going to trickle it in one by one like a fucking prick.
Listen, man.
Thank you all for your generosity, you assholes. Don't forget to donate on Venmo or PayPal. Hey, check it out. Check it out. Here's a new deal. If you donate on Venmo or PayPal, I'll send you soothing guitar licks, guys. I guess it works real well. I'm told in the Twitch community that it works. Rusty Grammar just took away $1 million. Fuck you, dude. How do you even do that? How do you, like, oh, God damn it. Mikey says, I'm a troll master level, and it goes back into the one at a fucking time. Shut the fuck up, Tom.
I can't help it. Honestly, you getting mad about stupid little shit like that is what I've enjoyed the most of our friendship the whole fucking time.
Well, that's really disillusioning, and you're a terrible human being. Let's just
absolutely, dude.
There.
You losing your mind one by one little by little is so fucking fun to me.
Why? Why, Tom?
Dude, it's just the best, man. Like even that because you and I have had that conversation before, right? Like Charlie Settles did the.
You, Mikey. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
He did the. He's part of the New Kids on Tap show, right? And he had that cold.
Hold on.
He has a cold.
3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What the hell is bothering me? 3, 2, 1. Deep inhalations. You know what? I'm just gonna cue up some Zen music. Fuck this. Go ahead. Keep talking what you're talking, bitch.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, you getting mad about like the small things is what keeps me going in life most of the time too. Like just hearing your frustration right now about all that, it's so fucking awesome.
Stop it with the bits.
Keep it going, everybody. It's so fun, isn't it? Just to hear Corey going absolutely insane.
Tom, don't encourage them.
Well, actually, Ryan already threw it out there. If people donate, you should give Tom's number out.
I would. There is a fiscal amount of money that if I got, I would give your phone number out. And here's what would happen: you would get so mad at me, you'd be pissed, and then you would say, "How the fuck can you do this?" and I would say, Tom, they gave me this much money. Here's your cut. And then you'd be like, that's fine. And then we would both laugh as we went to go change your number.
I don't know if I could change my number. I've had this number since I was fucking. This is the only number I've had as far as cell phone numbers.
So it'll really hurt when I ruin it.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
everybody only knows this number.
Okay.
I mean, there's a couple of people out there that are in the chat right now that I would probably give my number out to, but not all of these monsters.
There's not many monsters left.
Well, are you sure? Because you've already lost your fucking mind a couple times already tonight. So
Okay, look,
there's
motherfucker.
Mikey again. Mikey.
There's one monster, and his name is Mikey Two Milks. His name should be called Mikey One Bits, because that's all he fucking donates over and over again to get under my fucking skin. You could have donated 10 bits at once, Mikey. Oh.
Actually, Mikey Two Milks is a nice, fine name, but Mikey One Bit sounds like he's in the mob a little bit. I almost like that more. Mikey One Bit. I like that.
612.
Call him Mikey One Bit.
612 8.
I'm not stopping you if you feel like it's necessary or that you made enough money off of this.
Yeah, no. You know what? Actually, here, check it out. I'm not going to do that because I would have. Okay, check it out, though. First off, I gave them the first 4 numbers. It's on them to figure out the rest.
I feel bad if everybody just starts calling random shit numbers in the 612 area code.
Wouldn't it be weird if somebody just typed in random numbers and the first one was you?
Oh my god, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Hey, is this Tom? What the fuck? Did he give it out? No, man, I figured it out. Woo!
Yeah, if that happens, honestly, I'd probably have to find that person and be like, listen, I'm going to give you $20 to not fucking tell anybody. Because I know full well it would go straight back on here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worry, right? Is how much is it going to cost you to get people to not interact with it anymore?
Yeah, but I know full well if I offer $20, it's all of a sudden like, yeah, this week maybe.
Right, it says 612 crackhead. That's his number.
That's too many numbers, man. That's too many numbers. And it don't fit well. Well, I guess the A and the second C could fit as one number.
Foily, boys, foily. Tom, you're a real piece of shit.
I
Mikey,
am, yes.
You're a piece of shit, too.
Don't talk to Mikey like that, man. He's one of your...
now you guys are all going to gang up on me. Okay, you know what, Mikey? You're a gentleman. You're dapper. I think that everything you do is correct. It's a real honor and a privilege being your friend. Thank you for the bits.
Jesus fuck. Now you say because he comes in with one big sum. You are some piece of shit,
What
Corey.
are you talking about? That was sentimental.
Yeah, only because he stopped going one bit at a time.
You don't know that. I saw the error in my ways, and I just wanted to really reach out and make sure that Mikey thought he was special.
Mikey is special.
You know what? I changed my mind. He's a dumpster trash fucking piece of shit.
So you proved my fucking point, you dick.
What? You changed my mind.
No, you start changing your tune as soon as he starts going to a large amount.
That's fucking coincidental. That'll never hold up in court. Get fucked, dude. I literally just realized what a fucking great human being he was, and then you reminded me what an absolute piece of shit he is.
No, I was defending the fact that Mikey has always been super cool, and you're fucking coming out here.
He's not really been that cool. He's pretty lame.
Bullshit.
He's got really weird, saggy donkey nuts. Nobody wants that.
Yeah, no one wants that. Sometimes it just happens, man. You can't fucking hate the guy for having them.
No, I can hate him bit by bit. I can fucking hate him. Yes.
God, you're so petty.
I'm not petty. These are real observations I'm making.
You're just a petty son of a bitch.
Mikey said only my mother can talk to me like that. Shut your whore mouth. Wait.
Yeah,
I have it. Hold on. Shut up. Hold on. There we go. It's too soft. I need to redo those levels. I have a bunch of sound effects that aren't loud enough, but I had the McGregor. Or what? You motherfucker. You don't just say whore mouth and then go back to one by one donating, you fucking Keebler elf of a human being.
Did you try and play that part from that post-match interview where he goes, "I'd like to apologize to absolutely fucking no one"?
No, I don't have that one on there, but that one might be. I actually have been fucking around with Nightbot, and I've been getting the poll stuff working, so I'm going to be able to take surveys. And I'm going to take a bunch of surveys on what people think we should have for fucking Mikey. Ugh, you're one fucking bits, and now he's like, I'm inevitable. Yeah, you wish you were fucking Thanos. If you were Thanos, you'd snap your fingers and you'd be gone. See, look at that. He's got me so fucking crossed over, I'm starting to sound like Tom. Not funny. This hurts.
This is so awesome for me.
Yeah, I bet it is, you crackhead. Shut the fuck up. Don't you take his side.
I've always been on Mikey's side, man.
Oh, yeah? Have you?
Yeah, man.
So you're going to call me out for nothing, for pure speculation, and then you're going to deny all the times you and Mikey have locked horns.
Listen, we lock horns because I think it's fun for everybody to hear. But
Mikey Two Milks says, Tom, I feel like we're really bonding tonight. Both of you can get fucked. How about that?
Yeah, we are really bonding.
Why don't
tonight.
you guys bond
No,
over like some anal sex or something? Not that I'm opposed to that. I just want you guys to feel together.
We're
Use
not at
balsa
that part of
wood.
a relation. We're not at that stage of our relationship, man. Don't you worry about that, Corey.
Where did this all go wrong? When did it turn against me? This is not how this is supposed to go, Tom. I'm bringing you on the show because you're supposed to be the whipping boy. Is this how this feels? I hate it.
This is the double turn, man. This is
double
the dramatic
cross.
double turn. No, the double turn, man. You went to heel, I went to face, man. The crowd loves me. They hate you now. Oh man, we pulled it off, man. We pulled it off. This wrestling show, we finally pulled it off. The
Mikey
double
Two
turn.
Milk says he's only having sex with you if you wear the Corey Adam mask.
Well,
Now,
I mean, if you
now
say
his
from
bitch
your
ass is just typing in cheer one. He's not even giving bits anymore. He's just being a dick.
Hey, man.
Fucking call this show Nightly Aneurysms, you assholes.
That's all on how you want to take it, man.
Get fucked,
You
Tom.
gotta just be mellow. You gotta be cool. You gotta be relaxed.
Well, look at the time.
What, you're gonna hang up on me again?
No, you're the one that hangs up on people, you prick.
I don't hang up on anybody. It just happens that it drops a few times, and I'm gonna blame my internet. So I'm not.
Ah, he's doing it again.
When I get to this point in the night or whatever, when I think you're gonna call me and stuff, I'll make sure I just switch off the internet, and then just use data on my phone. Then how about that?
I don't know.
Seems to be working a lot better.
Look, yeah, it does sound way better tonight, actually. I just, he's fucking doing it again. Bit by bit by bit, this motherfucker.
I'll tell you what, Mikey, if you keep this up and so that, even after Corey hangs up on me, I'll message you why I don't like Airwolf. Just you.
What? That
else
wasn't the
throwing up.
arrangement? So now you're incentivizing him to fucking destroy me.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, Texas Theft, if you hit me up on Facebook, facebook.com/Tom.Chillstrom, or even on Instagram or Twitter @TomChillstrom.
Oh,
I will
good.
fucking tell you.
Now
the story,
Mikey
too,
has
'cause he's
accelerated his generosity, Tom, you piece of shit.
Oh, Batman trouble. Yeah, you do the
Oh,
same,
good.
man.
Now
Hit me up.
Getsy's getting in here. Fuck you guys. Fuck everything
Get
all of
in
you
on
are
it.
about.
Get in on it. Drive him insane.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
No, man. Go to town. Go to town, Bradley 138. Hell yeah. Do it, everybody.
Fuck
Drive
you.
Corey insane.
God, I
Drive
hate this.
Corey insane.
Why are
Drive
you
Corey
rooting for
insane.
this?
Because it's so awesome, man. To
It's
hear
not.
you just. Yeah, it is. It's your show, yet I took it over. It's mine. It's mine.
You didn't take shit over.
Whatever, man. Double turn. You're the heel now. I'm the face. Love it or hate it, Corey.
Let's talk about where the show went wrong, shall we? I think it's when I became friends with Mikey, Two Milks, and Tom.
Which came first?
What?
Which one of us have you been friends with longer?
Well, I'm not friends with you anymore, Tom, so the answer's Mikey.
Well, look at that though. Mikey's just killing it with these fucking bits now, man. Holy shit,
I think
dude.
I think Mikey might have been misunderstood. I think I might have overstepped my bounds. Like, I still fucking hate Texas Theft, and Jesse can go fuck themselves. Bradley 138 can die, but I just I think Mikey's a dapper human being who, he looks really good in suits, and he's just really misunderstood. Batman Trouble is a piece of shit. You know what? I changed my mind. Mikey is a piece of shit now that I think about it. I think that he might be the most miserable piece of plankton on this toilet earth.
Oh my god.
I just, I had time to assess it. And now, I just, I really think that Mikey's a horrible human being. Batman Trouble's a piece of shit. Texas Theft is a piece of shit. Savage Dragons D said, do you really want to know about the video Airwolf and Margaret made? that you're pissed you weren't a part of? Oh, I get it. Could you imagine how bad Airwolf would break her hips if they actually, like, you know, got into some, like, sexual flipping?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I think...
You know, I look over in this chat room, and it's hard to decide who's uglier. Mikey Two Milks, Taxes Theft, Badman Trouble, or Bradley. Just a lot of ugly, homely people. What?
You don't say that. You don't say that. Looking at your bald melon and that ugly face, you're telling other people that they're ugly? Get fucked, Corey.
Mikey Two Milk says, I have a Tom Chilstrom sex tape.
Yeah. It's very prevalent. I'm actually on a lot of those masturbation solo
I don't think you do, Mikey, because he's never actually had sex.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's on
Mikey Two Milk says it's called In the Ginger Bush.
Oh my god. Fucking awesome.
It's not
Keep
awesome,
it up, fellas.
Tom.
Keep it up,
Tom,
everybody.
get fucked. Get fucked. This is you.
Oh,
You're letting the animals run the zoo, Tom.
Well, I mean, they kind of already do run it. I mean, you're always, giving
No,
free
I am
metric
in
quotes and
charge,
everything.
and I run a tight fucking ship, and you came here and you compromised that.
A tight fucking ship.
Apology
Come on, Corey.
accepted.
What?
Let's get real here, okay? A tight fucking ship. Come on.
Taxes
No,
Theft says,
seriously,
Corey, you are the most disgusting human being I've ever laid eyes upon. That's weird that you've never seen yourself, motherfucker. Shut up. You know what? I gotta say, I gotta take back some of the shit I talked about Bradley, though. Now that I think about it, Bradley138 is a very cool person. I've always found him to be a gentleman and a scholar. I'd like to subscribe to his newsletter. Taxes Theft is still ugly and weird looking. He looks like an aardvark fucked an eggplant, so I'll leave that to whatever your imagination comes up with.
Huh.
But I just think I was really wrong about Bradley138, you know?
I think you're wrong about all
and
of
I
them,
want
man.
you I want you to know that this is coming completely unmotivated by anything. I'm not even looking at what's going on in the chat room.
Oh, really? You didn't see that
Batman
Bradley
Trouble
138?
Batman Trouble says someone get Corey a discount therapy dog. That's pretty good.
Isn't that just something you find at the pound anyway that has a weird limp and you don't know why because it was never hit by a car? Or just
You know, as I search my heart, I do hate Mikey though.
Oh my god.
I look like Alfred E. Newman, bitch. No, you look like Alfred E. Newman ate something ugly.
Got that? Jesus Christ, good comeback.
Mikey donated a bunch of bits and said, I live in your head. You know, Mikey is one of the best people I've known over the years. He's just always been there for me. Like, I'm pretty sure, you ever see the show Golden Girls, Tom?
I have.
I'm pretty sure that Thank You for Being a Friend was about Mikey.
Oh, probably.
You know, it's just he's a real friend and a confidant, right? And if that dude threw a party, everybody'd be there because we loved him. You know, he's fucking rad. And I don't even know if the best gift would be for me. But I know that every card attached would say thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
But God, that taxes
hell-
theft is ugly, you know? Just, man. You know what? I changed my mind, actually, now that I think about it. I do really hate Mikey. He kind of looks like a lawn weasel fucked like Han Solo. I'm not into it, you know?
That's what you're not into? That sounds like it would be exactly what you're into.
Batman Trouble said, I thought you were going to call him your Blanche. No, he'll have to give more bits to get my Blanche status, bro. Also, Batman Trouble's really ugly too, right? He looks like somebody was trying to make a puppet out of a snorkel and then just melted it together.
Huh. That's a good one.
Bradley
I knew
says
that.
all 4 female characters were based on Mikey. Taxes Theft said,
Yeah.
I've been called ugly my whole life. I love it. Yeah, you'd have to. People around you probably have working eyeballs. That's all I'm
Man,
saying.
dude.
I don't know if you're uglier than Mikey, though. But, man, it's real close, you know?
I think they're both wonderful human beings. Actually, all these people are wonderful human beings.
Tom,
and stuff,
stop
but
it
I've
with
only
the
talked-
fucking baby face.
No, man. I genuinely believe that all these guys, all these people out here, I don't know if any of them are.
Taxes
male
Theft
outside of
said,
Mikey.
but you, Corey, are ugly. That just hurts me.
That
what up,
hurts you?
Jolson's streams? Is that Jacob or no? Is that John Olson? I don't know. I know a lot of Jay Olsons. Hey, what up, guy? Just getting abused by my own chat room. Which
It's
I
Al
don't
Jolson.
need to remind anybody that I don't deserve. I've done nothing to deserve this. This is just they're accosting me.
Listen, everybody, he deserves all of this. He's
Did I
being
see
really
that Jesse ain't running? Oh, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I did, but Justin Amash is, and he's my guy, so I'm already excited about that. You know, now that I think about it, Tom, I give it just a real chance to swizzle around in my mind. I think I may have been wrong about Mikey Two Milks.
weird. Yeah.
I think sometimes I get quick to judge, you know, and I just think like he's pretty cool, you know.
Texas Thefto's right. You do look like a Mucinex germ on crack.
Dude, that would be rad. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many people I could infect if I was a germ on crack?
I think just looking at you affects most people in a negative way.
Jacob's like, nah, man, fuck Amish. No, man, that's my guy. I love that dude. What do you not like about him? That dude told Rand Paul that he's not his dad, told the Republicans to get fucked, told the Democrats to get fucked, walked away from both, and now he's running. Fucking rad, dude. The two-party system is an intimate threat. Intimate, and imminent. Like inside of us and all around us threat to the American people. It's got to go. Team Blue and Team Red got to die.
Yeah, it's Team Yellow and Black.
Sheer
now,
leftover
baby.
gonorrhea medication. Well, you know what, Mikey, I just like, as I think about it, you're pretty infected and you probably need that medication.
That
Yeah,
actually might be
Jacob,
the
don't
only
vote for
nice thing
Biden.
to
He's
say.
a sexual predator. You don't want to be that guy, man. It is really garbage. God, you know, now that I think about it, I do like Mikey, actually.
Corey likes.
I think he's saying I look like.
Yeah, he corrected himself.
Oh, shit. Look at that. Looks like, yeah, I figured that looks like the coronavirus image. That one's all red. The red one. I mean, that's the
Would it
good
be
one.
Rusty
That's the
Grammar?
good one. I like that one better. It's fine by me.
You like the red one better.
What?
You like the red one better.
Yeah, they got that one weird green one that's like super weird looking and like oblong.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Sorry.
Oh, yeah? No. Tell you, I just really hate taxes theft, but Mikey's coming around a little bit.
Yeah, he likes. You look like
My alibi?
his alibi. Yeah.
That means he's going to frame me?
No, you look like probably the last woman he had sex with. No, I'm kidding him.
Jacob,
Just
there's
dogging
nothing.
you,
Jacob,
Mike.
there's nothing you can do. Trump is going to win. I'm not going to vote for him. You're not going to vote for him. But the moment the DNC ran Biden, they assured that Trump will win. It's just like Hillary last time, man. The DNC is as much to blame for Trump winning as anybody that votes for him. Corey looks like Chris Farley's overdose picture. Oh, that's a spicy insult. That is spicy. Oh,
Colin,
man.
this guy is cooked.
Oh, that's
Done
bad.
for.
Oh, man. Oh, we did a comic for president. Fuck that. Most comics are smart enough to not. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you know,
I
man.
mean-
We all know, and it sucks. Nobody's happy about it. Like, it's fucking garbage. Like, I know you and I don't see eye to eye politically, but nobody's happy about that. Taxes theft, fuck you. Batman Trouble, that was good, but fuck you. I would ban you, but you're a subscriber, so I can't. You win. You win this round.
They all win this round, man.
Yeah, I don't know if he can fall upwards this round, man. I think I don't know. I mean, best of luck. I turned my back on both parties a long time ago. I love me some Amash. I'm glad that Amish is running. Amash. I can never say that fucking Justin. I'm just going to call him Justin.
By the
Because
way, here's the way you
I can't do it. No, Mikey, I'm not going to make you a moderator. You're drunk with power. You know, now that I think about it, Batman Trouble is actually a really decent human being. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I may have laced into him a little bit too hard. And I want you to know that this isn't being motivated by anything. This is just genuine feels. You know? I think sometimes it's hard to really get in contact with your softer side as a broadcaster and live streams, you know? Like I just want to really tell, like, Rusty Grammar and oh, great, now there's a hype train. Okay, I guess we're doing this now. Hype train, baby, let's go.
Roll with it.
Yeah. Hype train!
You're going to get them all back on this one, too. You don't at all sound like a heel. Just trying to pander to a few people.
Oh, man.
You're like the,
oh, hell
you're
yeah.
like the $1 million
Go,
man
Jacob.
at this
Yeah.
point.
No, yeah, I just want you guys to know that all these compliments are coming purely from the heart. Holy shit. Hype train, here we go. Tom, have you been in here while we were hype training?
No.
We just completed level 1. Now we're going up.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what that all means, but
They give prizes for people like give bits. It's like, yeah, enjoy my socialist subscription. I will. I'm a capitalist. I may not like socialism, but I will profit off it. No more bits, I refuse. Good. Nobody wants your 1 bit, asshole.
hey, you don't say that about Mikey. I want his 1 bit.
Why?
You want his 1 bit.
There's much more people to really respect in this room, like Rusty Grammar and Taxes Theft and Bad Man Trouble. These are real people.
Yeah, but
A-Bomb is kind of like a half
they're all real
person, but you know. And have
They're all
you heard about how big Bad Man Trouble's dick is? Like, that guy's got a hog. You know?
I've never heard.
Rusty Grammar has only ever had sex with 2 girls at once, unless there were more. Little factoid about him. Bradley138, all of his sexual partners are still climaxing as we speak. That's how good of a lover he is.
Jacob, do you really think Ventura's going to get the Green Party knob?
No, he'd be running as Reform, wouldn't he?
No, I saw an article today. He's looking to get the nomination for the Green Party.
That's nuts. They wouldn't, would they?
Yeah, they probably would.
Jacob says this chat's pathetic. What? There's just a bunch of people expressing their thing. We got 3 minutes to hit the next level of a hype train. Who knows what happens? I mean, that's we already were over our time, but then the hype train shit came, and what are you gonna do? It's fucking great. Yeah, that's weird that he wants Green Party. Doima, subscribe. You're like the one unsubscriber here. We're in a fucking train, bro.
Hey, man, he's unemployed right now, okay?
Did you see the new Rick and Morty? Buy. Get the train. Get the train. Okay, he isn't running, but he's green. It's pretty great. The shit got weird.
Hey, Corey, when was the last time you wrote a cover letter?
What the fuck is a cover letter?
Oh, well, see, that answers a lot.
What is a cover letter? Is that like the top of the TPS reports at Office Space?
No. Cover.
You know what's really sad? What's sad is how ugly Taxes Theft, Mikey Two Milks. They just like they used to be cool, and I used to look up to them, but now they're so ugly.
Dude, you can't.
Oh yeah, I can't. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. Teach me what I can and can't do, Tom. Go for it.
I'm just saying, man. You're trying to do this back and forth, man. You gotta just be loyal when you can be loyal, okay? And all these people are just showing their loyalty to you by giving you the bits that they can afford to give you, man. Don't look a gift bit in the mouth, you fucking douche.
They're not doing it to be generous. They're doing it to fuck with me.
Hey, man. I don't know a lot of things, but I do know when generosity is playing into people's hearts right now. And
Savage Dragons D says, "Hey Tom, I make custom combat-ready chainmail. I'm almost done with a tunic. Once I'm done, if we can have you try it on, let's shoot Corey with you with my crossbow." Oh Jesus! All right, that's crazy.
Ooh, shit.
Jacob said this chat turned into a live porn site, but instead of a hot lady shoving things up their ass, it's a fat libertarian who got fired for carrot dick jokes on a platform for tweens to twerk on. Do tweens twerk? That's not why I got fired. That's just the reason they gave. They were trying to fire me for a lot of other stuff before that. I don't know if that makes it better. The carrot to dick and everything is absolutely correct, though. That's accurate.
Hey, question for you. Did you ever record that lemonade bit, by the way?
Which lemonade bit?
From working the restaurant. Did that ever make it into jokes or jokes too?
I think it's on Jokes.
Okay, or Jokes on Ice, I should say, not Jokes.
It did. It's definitely not on Jokes on Ice. It might be on Jokes.
Okay. I'll have to go back and listen to that.
I know all the restaurant stuff is on there, except for I have some other stuff about the owner and the wife that I never made it to where I wanted to, but maybe like Jacob. I know Jacob from Best Shows. That's how I know him. So
nice.
Yeah, I think it made it to Jokes. 10 seconds left to get that hype train. We're at 70. I don't think we're gonna make it. 5, 4,
Jolson,
3, 2,
yeah, Jacob,
1.
Yeah, Jokes. Okay.
Boom. Goodbye, hype train.
Man, that was fun while it lasted, though, everybody. Way to go. Your true fans are showing through here, Corey. You should really be thankful for them. And not this weird fucking offbeat fucking.
It actually wasn't that bad. We got 2 subs and 1,800 bits.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that. We got some emojis.
Yeah, but seriously, for everybody who wants to hear why I don't like Airwolf, go find me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Just message me directly and stuff, and I'll give you the reason.
Yeah, Jacob. I did know Nancy died. That sucks. I actually felt really bad about some of the terrible jokes I wrote about her when I found out she died.
Oh my God, do you actually fucking have a heart?
No, I do not, Tom. It's a rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, assuming I have a heart. Jacob, what games are you streaming these days? I'll just go over to his account page. I don't give a fuck. Oh, Spider-Man.
Don't worry, Ryan. I will never forget Pops.
You know what? I'm gonna follow him. What?
Well, Ryan just said, "Don't forget Pops." I won't ever forget Pops.
How could you forget Povs?
I mean, every Monday.
Yeah, every Monday. That's the place that Tom ran where I made more money than him.
Yes. Yep. It's very true.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck, I've been on here for a long time.
Mikey Two Milk says, I'll never forget the night Tom and I spent together at a comedy show in St. Cloud.
Yeah, dude. He bought a round of beers. I bought a round of beers. And then I think he bought the last round of beers. So I think I owe him a beer or 2 or something like that now. So.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What else are we going to do when we're seeing a bunch of stupid, like Aaron trying to do comedy and Adrian just bombing for fucking an hour to try and bury Ryan like a dick?
Man, that's oddly specific.
Yeah, man. I was getting kind of bored in the back. I'd already heard all the Adrian stuff, but...
Woo! Oh, what podcast are you doing, Jake? That's pretty funny. Batman Trouble said, I thought the name was a stream play off Joel Olstein.
Joel Olstreams. That's awesome. That's pretty damn funny. Take it. Go make it your name.
All right. You know what? Tom, this is fun. I'm going to get you out of here. We're just about done. Thank you for coming on, talking some Ricky Norton. That's super awesome. Tell people where to find you. There it goes. Tell people where to find you, buddy.
At Tom Chelstrom on Twitter and Instagram, or facebook.com/tom.chelstrom. Seriously, guys, hit me up on direct messenger on any of those sites if you donated bits and stuff like that. I will tell you the reason.
What the fuck is wrong with you? So you'll tell everybody in private that donated bits, but like you're not gonna tell it in front of 10 people. I guess it's 20 now. Fine, do you?
All right.
You know what? You're right. Do you?
Yeah, I mean.
How about this? Let's do it on another show.
I mean, I'm still gonna tell these folk now, but yeah, I mean, if you want me to talk shit about one person in local indie.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wait, hold on. I need the buttons. Here we go. Oh shit! Go.
To who? Me?
Yeah.
Is Tom on OnlyFans? No, I'm not on OnlyFans.
Tell your Airwolf truth, Tom.
All right, seriously? You want me to tell right now?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't give a shit. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, I'm not trying to bully you into doing anything you don't want to do.
No, it's fine. I'll tell it. So I was at a show because Ricky was on that show, and during the intermission, when some of the guys are, trying to sell their merch or pitch it to people or, signing autographs and stuff, Airwolf was by his stuff on one side of the ring, and then I saw him taking a video of a teenage girl wearing leggings of her ass and stuff, and it was one of the most off-putting things to see a adult man do that on his phone and shit, and no one else was going to call him on it, so I went over to him and just tried to make mention that, probably shouldn't do that shit, and then I was basically told to get the fuck away from him, and that he fucking kicked me out of the show, so needless to say.
Oh shit, he kicked you out of the show? I didn't know that.
He was going to have me kicked out of the show, but he didn't, because we really can't
because nobody likes Airwolf and you were a paying customer.
Well, no, actually almost everybody likes Airwolf and stuff like that, but he's a creep, and so I won't fucking buy his merch or support him in any fucking way. So,
not a boy. See, that's fine. Why was that such a? I like how you kept it for that hype train, though. Good for you.
Hey man, I'm just trying to help you out. No, but seriously, like again, it's not my spot to necessarily spread rumors and shit like that. I mean, I got a problem with and stuff. I don't know if anybody else necessarily would, but you know, fact is and stuff. I think he's just a creep, and that's how it goes.
Okay. Well, that sucks. It sucks when people are creeps, you know.
Right.
All right. Well, Tom's gonna commit suicide by bullet in the back of the head tonight. Jesus. Let's check out. I like how fucking Jacob gets in here and he's like, "Oh, this chat sucks. These people suck. I want this dude to kill himself. Fuck this."
I didn't know that Airwolf knew the Clintons. Holy shit! Thanks, Jacob. That makes so much more sense now. Hashtag Airwolf didn't kill himself.
Jesus Christ. Well,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to spread the rumor and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That FC didn't kill himself, and neither did Airwolf.
Okay. Who do you think more didn't kill themselves?
As of right now, it'd be Epstein because Airwolf's still alive. But
you call that living? Hey-o. All right, buddy. Well, hey, thanks so much for doing this, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been fun.
All right, buddy.
Thanks for having Ricky on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, everybody.
Right, bye. That was Tom Chilstrom, and now, because we are done with everything, it's time to move into the end game. Oh, it's end game time. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Of course, it's not going to work. Why the fuck would anything work? Ugh. There we go. Yes. Did it work that time? Yes. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. End game. Airwolf is a local wrestler. He's kind of whatever. I don't know. I like him, but I didn't know any of this, so it's kind of sucks when you like somebody and then shit happens and you have to like reassess what you think of them. It's not yeah, he's an ancestor of Airbud. It's Airwolf the show with like the helicopter was so awesome. Tom is like the most ill, bro. Illin and Willin, dude. That's Tom. That's Tom's life story, dog. Let's see here. We had one other thing. I had a lot of stuff that we were gonna get to today, but the Ricky conversation was cool and important, and it's not often that you get a chance to talk to somebody. And like again, Ricky's a buddy of mine, but what I really like is how he doesn't really care about kayfabe. Like he's one of those where he does respect wrestling, but he believes kayfabe is dead, and that's a real interesting take. How's the bit race looking? You're in second. It's up on the top. You can just look at it. I don't know. I'm not gonna like read off the bit race. Like that's a weird thing to do, I think. Should I start giving out gift certificates to Old Capital? That's what I'll just fucking do. I'll be like, oh yeah. Whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened there? What the fuck just happened there? New. Okay. Shit lock up? The fuck just happened? Here, let's see what happens if I test widgets. Okay. Still on. I was worried that it did not go on. So yeah. Yeah, we had a good one. We didn't really delve into much politics stuff, but we usually do. Let's see here. Bit bonds. There's that. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, there's that. Perfect. Perfect. All right, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for this. Jacob, good to see you. Thanks for dropping down. Thanks to everybody that donated and helped us on that hype train. That was super awesome. Thanks again to Ricky Norin. Thanks to Tom. Thanks to Mikey, Taxes, Theft, Batman, Trouble, Run Out of Thoughts. All you guys are awesome. Jacob, good to see you. Thanks for the sub. Follow me on social media. Otherwise, if you want to. Yeah, I did hear that Watiti got fucking Star Wars. That's super exciting, right? Yeah, you should stop by more. I mean, there'll be political shit you don't like, but I mean, we can always talk politics. We'll even have you on an episode if you want, man. We'll promote your movie shit if you want to come on. I've been doing this like because comedy's dead, so there's nothing I can really do. So I've been doing this Friday through Tuesday, 7:30 through 10:30 ish. This one ran a little late, but we also have a bunch of fun times. We do videos, we do interviews, we do all kinds of shit, man. It's good to have you. I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad everything's good. You guys have been awesome. One more time, we out of here, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.